Welcome to McArthur Live with Tim, your Ford video guy,
and Sarah Davis.
We are here to welcome you in. Thank you for joining us on our live stream. A little different setup this week, so we'll see how it works. Hopefully everything works okay. Maybe you guys didn't hear that, but anyway, so we do have a 2 mic setup this week, so hopefully that helps out with a little bit of audio issues and everything. For those, it won't matter. Now that you guys have lost an hour of time this last Sunday, you'll notice that. But for us, now it's later. And when it gets over, the sun comes over here, then we get these shades in the way. But don't have to worry about it tonight.
Yeah.
Not in that position. But anyway, also don't forget, hopefully you guys are listening to this on our podcast, but we are streaming it. We're going to put it over as a podcast as well on your favorite different podcasting platforms. We have all kinds of different platforms you can find this on. Spotify is one of my favorite. I listen to a lot of podcasts over on Spotify, so hopefully, but you can find it on your different favorite podcasting apps, with the exception of one. You will not find it on the Apple podcast, just so in case you're looking there for that. You'll have to find another way to view it. You can also go to our website. We have it streaming on there as well, just embedded on there, so hopefully you find that. Also, if you are listening to the podcast, come on over, check it live on Tuesday nights on our YouTube channel as well, if you want to check that out. So all right, so don't forget to, if you are new to the channel, haven't come on over, maybe you saw this released about what we were going to talk about on the Maverick, and you want to check us out, hit the subscribe button down below, hit the notification bell if you do like our channel, and take the time if you're in here. We have a lot of members and such. Don't forget to smash that like button for me. I'd really appreciate it. So, all right, and we do have membership available. Sarah, you want to tell us about that?
Yes. So if you go down there by that subscribe button, while you're there, if you'd like to join, it's right next to it. But if you are an Apple user, differently. You have to go up to the web browser, go to your web browser, go up to the there, click big A and browser.
Refreshes, and then it becomes available. So you have to be in that desktop format. So there you go. And don't forget, if you're a member, you find that membership content under the membership tab. And when we talk about membership content, we do 2 videos a week on our channel for members. So if you are a member of the channel, we do a live stream for our members.
Yes, we do.
Where we get a chance to interact. This last Friday, it's Fridays at 4 o'clock. Every Friday at 4 Central Time. And that should go out. If you go to the membership tab, you'll see it. You should get notifications of it as well. It's kind of fun. We have a lot of fun. We have about 50 people in there, members in there watching live, but you can also watch it later, recorded if you don't get a chance, if you're still working. And then also Saturday, I do a lot walk as well. So that's a lot of people enjoy that as well. So a couple different video content we like to give you as members. We do appreciate what you're that becoming a member and such. And we do check out those perks. We also send you out a welcome packet as well when you're members. So you want to make sure you contact us and give us your mailing address. All right, enough about that. We do have merch as well. I don't talk a lot about the merch. If you want it, I just made it available for those that wanted it instead of making it part of a membership perk and such. And that way, company does it for us. We send them the graphics and set that up. And then it's shirts, hats, different things like that. If you want it, it's available for you. Not much there for you if you want to be part of the merch. So, all right.
Is my mic, can you hear me? Because we've had trouble with hearing my typing, and so someone said my mic is messed up, so I might need to talk louder.
Yeah. So and we have a gain down a little bit, so that way you may not hear her typing on her tablet there, but that way you should be able to hear her. So go ahead and why don't you test it out by welcoming all the members that we have.
All right, we have
wait Gotta do
member introductions.
Gotta do the member introductions first. There we go.
Okay. One thing that I saw that they were talking about was going to Pennsylvania. Carlisle, Pennsylvania. They're doing a Maverick truck section in the show field at Ford Carlisle in June. There's a thread on Maverick Truck Club. Be a good meetup. And someone said we should get Tim and Sarah there. And Ridgeview said that'll be sweet. I bet they might come if we all chipped in for a room. We'd have to see when it is.
Yeah?
I'm taking a lot of trips right now.
I don't think I have anything planned for June.
June. That's the month of my Lebo's birthday and our anniversary. It depends.
Hey,
Yeah.
get us the dates. We also have someone give us a donation.
Yeah, we did. John, I believe. Is that right? John Ashton, yes. Hi, Tim and Sarah. I'm really looking forward to tonight's exciting chat and information session. Job well done, as always.
Didn't have my chat window.
Mm-hmm.
OBS, I did. All right. All right. Well, thank you very much. What other members we have in here?
We have Elizabeth Kittrell. I think Sarah needs a new mic or audio cable. My audio is echoey. Mike Piper.
Oh.
Running a delay.
No.
Valley Dude 5000 says, I'm here from Altering Nation. Kelly and Dave sent me here. And we actually have Altering Nation in here with us. They are members as well. Roderick Wibido. Good evening from the wonderful Mississippi Gulf Coast. June 2nd through 4th. We might be able to do the Branson MG. Alan. M. Hattie says Mike sounds fine. Gino Avian says he can hear me. Both are members. Thank you.
I did just adjust it.
Ragnarcon, good evening, fellow users. It is I, Ragnarcon, the great, here viewing this live stream with you all an hour earlier than last week.
I actually enjoy when he kind of jumps in. He always has something fun to say.
Yep. James Chapman is here. Dono, just.
It says it is echoing. So
hello, Robert Bottenfield. Yes, you are in here.
I'm wondering if the mic is you're getting picked up on my mic as well.
Oh, that could be.
So let me adjust mine a little bit and see if that's the case.
Town and Country, what's up, guys? Love the content. Curious, how many Dark Horse allocations are you guys getting?
We are getting 5.
Thank you for that donation, Town and Country.
All right.
And thank you for the donation, Robert Bottenfield. He is a member, but he is on his regular account instead of his member account tonight. I'm in a tunnel.
That helps.
All right. We will see if that helps. Route 66 is on my bucket list too, Marsha.
I did that.
I know. Grandma and Grandpa, I think they did it over a span of a few years.
It's still late. I don't know. We'll figure it out tonight. We tried messing with it.
Yours cuts off when you turn to me. Their sounds
Oh,
just
that's
got way
probably-
better than when Tim adjusted. Yeah. I'm not facing him. I'm more facing my computer.
So we are novice to the podcasting thing, and so I think in the audios we've always had it to where it's just like you could hear us no matter how far away we are. Now it's like we're learning. We're going to have to get the mic close and just talk into it.
Especially with me having to type out comments to you guys, because sometimes if I'm chatting with, I like to chat with you guys while he talks.
Hopefully it's of. I'm noticing if I'm talking, and we do have the 2 mics here, so I can see it. So it looks like mine.
Okay, and now you can hear me, and you can't get it on his. So turn off one of the mics. We are trying to do 2 mics so that way you can.
We've actually had some people that said I can't watch your live stream because I can't. So that's what
now
we're trying to fix
out,
here.
So we're.
We won't fix it. Well, and I actually looked away. That's the problem.
He can't look at me.
Nope.
Don't look at me.
I'll bring the mic. And when we go to New York, we're probably gonna upgrade the mics anyway and get.
Yeah.
So there you go. So yeah, I keep looking away from the mic. I'll get it up here close. How about that?
Thank you, Valley Dude 5000. Tim, thank you for answering my questions on All Train Nation Live yesterday. Uncle Weeze, I can attest to sounds being triggering. I have misophonia myself, and so I cannot stand to hear people eating, breathing. I cannot stand hearing people whistle. I cannot stand the sound of nail clippers. It makes me want to throw things and scream at people.
I can attest to that.
Like, it gets bad enough where I have to leave the room or I'm going to start screaming.
Cereal and chips.
I can't do it. For some people, it might be the clacking of the keyboard and they just can't listen to it. So I understand noises being a problem.
All right. Well, let's keep it rolling here. Let's see what else is next. We welcoming all the members. There's Matt. We got Sky Blue
Jolly
Adventures,
Green.
Jolly Green, hi all.
Milk Cold Pepper.
Good members. We appreciate you members in there. Thank you very much. And let's move on. So the last week, video wise, we've had I did a video that went live on the 24 Mustang GT Premium, the complete guide, as well as on the Dark Horse. Both of those are in the description if you want to check the links out. Find them on our YouTube channel. And yesterday I did a video on the Bronco and Bronco Sport, things to check out on your order. Because things are different. We talked about it last week or a couple weeks ago about the Job 2 update for Bronco Sports, that now the Badlands and Outer Banks has a body colored roof, and to just kind of maybe check your order. If you have one that's unscheduled or maybe even one that's scheduled, you might look at your order and see, because I know that somebody said that theirs, they got their window sticker and they're just going into production, and they were charged $500 for the black roof. So what looks like what Ford did was they added a black roof to their order, but then they charged them $500. So it is $500 more if you go with the black roof. So you might want to just check and make sure your order is the way you want it. If you're looking at the Badlands and go, you know what, I didn't like the black roof anyway, then great. You're gonna have a body colored, and then if you want the black, it's just an extra $500 on those. So anyway, check out that video. Also talked about the Bronco, because some people had asked me about the Bronco LED headlights and LED signature lighting, that they're getting their Broncos in without those, and that has never been a constraint. It is on the order guide. I think what happened is some dealers took off their added that option, took it off the LED signature lighting. If you look on the order guide, that says the option only added when there's a constraint for that. And checking with the brand manager, he said there's not a constraint. So I just advise people to make sure that you have one. Even if it's scheduled, you can amend it, or at least try to amend it, and have that option taken off if you want that LED signature lighting on your order. So anyway, that video went live, and it's just one of those things I like to kind of let people know. I hate for them to get a vehicle that they've been waiting to get it, and it's not what they thought it was, or not what they thought they ordered. Keeping you on. Hear you. Like it's going fine.
What does the black line mean? Thank you, Ken Mayer.
Everybody hear me okay?
David, that is a great idea. I would have to have one that's made special, so that way I can...
Yeah, it's the Microsoft tablet.
Like, I have a tablet here. You guys actually... So that's what I use, and yep.
Having any more issues, we'll just go back to that.
Yeah.
Put this one off, and we'll just change it back up. All right. Well, try that. Give.
Gate.
All right. How's that work? You guys hear me okay?
And me? Yep. All right.
All
Thank you, Donald.
All right. People are still saying, but this is delayed. What we're reading from you guys is about a 10-second delay. So anyway, all right. So we'll just go that route. I like the one mic anyway. Okay. And put it here, and then that way we'll move it next week. That way it's not in your face.
It'll work tonight.
All right. How's that sound? Okay. So why don't we do this? Move on. Okay, we talked about everything. Videos for this week. Don't forget to that we sounds great. Okay, you're gonna have to put up with the typing then. I'll adjust that mic. You want to talk about the good, or do you want to move the mic over?
Yeah.
You move the mic over while I go over the good dealer highlight for this week.
He's taking my bit.
Unless you want to do it, and I'll move it. You're on the end, so you get stuck. All right, she's gonna move it so that way the mic is where it's facing both of us. So she's gonna move that. Move the camera. There we go. All right, so while she's doing that, we'll get the good dealer moment here. All right, so this one came from Paul. I think he's from Tennessee. He says, "Thank you for your weekly updates." I'll just hold it. Thank you for your weekly updates. Much appreciated. I always feel like people focus on the negative and don't appreciate and recognize good service. So I wanted to share some great service I recently received. I live in rural West Middle Tennessee. I'm gonna be going there soon. Actually, really looking forward to that. Last Tuesday, I bought a new 2022 F350 Lariat 6.7 liter that someone had ordered but canceled once the vehicle arrived. I live about an hour away from Peppers Ford in McKenzie, Tennessee, but I dropped everything and rushed up there upon notification. How's our audio doing? Good?
Good.
All right.
Now we can move our camera back.
Yeah, I think we're echoing because I think we're getting you through both mics, so I think that was our issue. All right. Then they knew that I wanted a spray and bed liner and gooseneck installed, so they made that part of the deal. While waiting for installation to happen, I drove the truck for a few days and got the deep sleep error message on Ford app.
He's saying now the video's out. Just kidding.
I'm like, what? Looks green there. Okay. Anyway, I had to drive an hour to the town, different than where a dealer is at for the installation appointment, and arrange a ride home. Here is a great service. Instead of me driving to the install location to pick up the truck, they drive the 25 minutes to the dealer, then wait for the update to fix the deep sleep issue. The dealer offered to pick up the truck for me from install shop, drive it back to the dealership and do the service, and then call me so I can just take my truck home and no waiting or extra driving. I really appreciate them going the extra mile for adding the bed liner gooseneck to arrange the logistics. It saved an hour and a half or more for my time, and they didn't have to do either part. Simple, smooth, solved. A great job to Peppers Ford and my sales guy Adam, who fended off other buyers while I made the drive to buy the truck. Important side note: they sold me the truck for MSRP instead of jacking up the price, like most dealers can and would do. So that's from Paul. So awesome. So what's great about this is this is a story that more than likely it wasn't Adam doing everything. He sold the truck, but probably it sounds like there's a service department and aftermarket that probably had to arrange things as well. So it sounds like they did a good job of communicating, and all departments worked well. So a lot of people don't always think about it, but the sales department might sell the vehicle, but to retain the customer, especially a local customer, it takes the service department to do their job as well. So we work really hard. We've had some issues in the past with our service departments not working well with our sales department, and we've worked really hard, brought in some people in those different roles, fixed ops and such, and different managers to help our service department do a better job. And the dealership is looked at not just in the sales side, but also the service side. In fact, a lot of times you might see some dealerships that'll have a Google page for sales and service, and so they want those service reviews to go over there because they're maybe bad reviews and they don't want it to hurt their sales reviews, right? So, and actually I think we do have two different ones because they look at it as two different entities and businesses, service and sales. But it's very important because if you don't have good service, they're not going to come back and buy a car from you. So anyway, good job there from them. Forgot to put the good dealer thing, but there you go. Let's talk about. I need to remember to stop during that because we are actually chopping these off into separate videos and taking little clips of the live stream. One hope is that people will watch maybe just the scheduling information or something they see on YouTube, and then come over and check out the live stream, then a complete live stream. But also for those that don't want to watch the entire live stream, they're going to be able to get those videos. So we'll have the scheduling information that we're going to talk about, as well as the dealer news updates. Those are going to go as separate videos live tomorrow. So the goal is noon, sometime in the afternoon, hopefully between noon and 3 o'clock, you'll get both of those videos if you're looking for that information. So, all right. All right. So for the scheduling information here, the 2024 Mustang.
Wait, I'm not seeing it pick up either one of us.
Down here.
Oh, okay. He hid the thing from me.
Yep.
Trying to make sure.
There you go. So the
Thank
video
you.
was still on, so even though the video had no audio. All righty. So sorry about that. 24 Mustang. Of course, we know order banks opening up. It's coming up. 2 weeks. Wait, yeah, 2 weeks. Probably actually late Monday, early Tuesday, more than likely. The order banks will open up for 2024 Mustang. Job one's supposed to launch 4/17. We are seeing a few Mustangs being built. Ours actually is scheduled for a day of 4/25. So we got a Grabber Blue GT Premium Fastback 401A, a high package that we're going to be having as our early build from Ford. So that's pretty cool. Moving on, 23 Escape. No scheduling this week. I don't think they're supposed to schedule that model. In fact, the entire month. 23 Bronco Sport. Supposed to be scheduling. It says retail scheduling, stock order as well for the people that need stock orders. I believe this is going to be job 2 scheduling. So that's the ones that will have the effect of the painted, the body colored roof with the Outer Banks and the Badlands. So just so you know that, make sure that's in there. So those are scheduling. We do have some of ours previewing today, I noticed. The 23 Edge. That Edge is not supposed to be scheduling this month, but there's a note in here and that the Edge might be scheduling this week. So limited stock scheduling. Retail is the main focus here. It's saying here, just to note, 24 model year, we think that the order banks might open up in May. For a 24 Edge. So, 23 Bronco. That's what people really want to know. Specialty scheduling only this week. So they're not starting to schedule yet. So we have it says no scheduling for Everglades base manual transmission or the Badlands with the optional wheel. That is balanced out already. So keep note of that. Specialty scheduling would mean Raptor and probably the Heritage Edition. So mainly those two models. There is, I did look at that, there's like 850 Heritage Editions that still need to be scheduled. So anyway, and they're scheduling some others, because I noticed even last week they scheduled some Black Diamonds, I think, and such. So you're going to see some of those. There's only like 800 Black Diamonds left to schedule. They're down to 4,000 Wild Tracks. So anyway, that's what you're going to see for the Bronco for this week. We do have 6 allocations, but most of those are going to be will probably not happen this week. 23 Explorer, retail scheduling only. We have a couple allocations, and it does say base 100A and hybrid are retail only orders. So keep that in mind. 23 Expedition, looks like retail only. So that is supposed to be scheduled. Don't forget, there's a lot of constraints with that. I would just make sure you have that heavy duty trailer tow package. Almost all of your limiteds need that on there, as well as I believe Timberline and everything. So you want to probably need to make sure it's on there. I did see that possibly the 24 order banks could open up in June, but we'll have to see, because those are all tentative dates. Probably if you see any clips or people are posting on different forums where they're showing this graph with the order bank opening and such. Those are all tentative dates. That is for fleet dealers or fleet customers to be able to look and see when they could possibly order the next model for their fleet company. And so that's all just like, that's a goal. That's an estimate. It could change and move, and it actually says that in there. But a lot of times when people post it on forums, they don't tell you that. 23 Maverick. May scheduling through 5/29. So they're going to do a lot of scheduling probably this week. Fleet and retail scheduling. It does say the trailer tow hitch is a constraint, splash guards, and trifold bed covers. The load box bed liner, that's just the tray liner. Something else that we noticed that's not on here, we're going to talk about as part of our what's on my mind, because something we found out today on with our orders that are previewing that might enlighten some people on their orders. 23 Ranger, retail only scheduling. Of course, can't order those right now, so it's just finishing out the 23 production. Says retail order bank is closed. We think, based on the Fleet Dealer News Bulletin, that order banks could open up on the Ranger on May 26th. We've heard no word out of Ford yet. We don't know if the Raptor will be launching at the same time or if it will be, usually it's a delayed launch after the rest of the builds. We'll just have to wait and see on that. Same with the Dark Horse. We know orders can be put in, but we don't know when they're going to start producing those, that kind of thing. 23 F-150 scheduling for the weeks of 4/3 and 4/10. Lightning is not scheduling. In fact, just a little news on the Lightning. Wave 8 was wave invites were supposed to go out on, I think, the 2nd of March. I talked to the brand manager, or got an email from the brand manager. That is delayed because of what's going on at the plant with the batteries, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. That they're going to move that back. Their hope is that the ETA is going to be later this month, they think. So they're hoping towards the end of the month. We don't have a definite date yet on that. And the reason we bring that up is it's very important because when it does open up, XLT trim is supposed to be available. So those people that have been holding off to complete their invite to order, they're waiting for that XLT. So that's very important because it'll probably only be open for like a day. So as soon as I find out that's opening, I'll let you guys know so that you can make sure you're ready to put that order in for that XLT if you're waiting to fulfill that order invite. 23 Super Duty, limited scheduling for job 1 build out. So job 1 build out is getting close. It says scheduling for U.S. fleet only at Ohio, and then no King Ranch, Platinum, or Limited yet. They are saying April. Now they actually have a month in here. April of 2023 is when job 2 should open up. So keep waiting for that. So and then Transit Connect is not scheduling. Transit Bev is scheduling. So the E-Transit is what's scheduling. The gas versions are not scheduling. And then the mach-e, not supposed to be scheduling this month, but they are showing that there's retail only, and we have 2 that are previewing today. So maybe they will schedule after all. That should be a job 2. And there's been a lot of vehicles that will have the new update for the Blue Cruise 1.2 driving around. Pretty cool, where you change lanes by putting the turn signal on without touching the steering wheel. I'm going to take over the vehicle, and it changes the lane for you. And the predictive speed assists, like if you're coming into curve and they know you might have to slow down or take over to control it. So it's helping you out with that. So some pretty cool technologies that's coming with that. So so there you go. That's all the scheduling notes that I have right there. Have any questions about that?
Have we received any Super Duties?
Nope.
No.
I don't think they've shipped out yet. We looked on Friday with the members, and we didn't see any that had been shipped out as of Friday. So, so I don't think they've been shipped out yet. So, F-250 fake news.
How come we don't see any Maverick commercials?
Commercials for the Maverick?
Because you can't order.
Because you can't buy one at a dealer from most dealerships. I know last year when Ford was actually promoting it and such, and I'm like, why would you do that when you can't even order one? And you can't even, I mean, most dealerships don't even have them. Most of them are coming in already sold. These are all retail only. So that's probably why you don't see a lot of commercials on it. So.
And do we know when Escapes will start to be delivered?
Don't know. I think their plant's back up running now. I don't know. That's been kind of quiet, but so they were having some software issues, I believe. So that's why they weren't being shipped out. So as of Friday, I don't think any of ours had been. But I don't know if we looked those up. So I don't think they have been.
Someone said that they've seen some Super Duties shipped out. There's 2 on YouTube so far.
Okay. So maybe that just started then.
Yeah, we haven't seen them here on our lot yet. And it's almost like it doesn't happen unless you see it, type of thing. Unless we see them on the lot, it's almost like non-existent to us.
Yeah, and I haven't looked, and maybe it's just that our vents haven't moved. But as on Friday we looked, and all of them were still sitting in Kentucky, so they hadn't gotten on a rail car yet. So for us now locally there, and again we see that on the F-150, the first dealerships that receive F-150s are in Detroit. They're in Michigan because they don't have to get on a rail. They convoy those on a trailer.
So as you get farther and farther out, you see them getting shipped there later and later.
So Kentucky dealers are probably receiving theirs now, whereas we won't get ours for a little while.
Has received a Super Duty.
Okay, that's probably not Fort Wayne, Indiana. That's not too far. So again, the closer, like just on the Maverick, when the Maverick launched, what did we see? Arizona dealers getting them first. Then we saw California dealers getting them pretty quick, and then it was a while before we got ours. So they're shipping out. That's awesome. So
before we get on to our next section, the Q&A box, I have loaded that up already. So we get through all of our topics, scheduling, dealer notes, we go through everything, and then we do a Q&A at the very end. So if you have questions, drop them in that Q&A box, and then we'll answer them all at once. If I see that it's been answered, I may remove it, just so that we aren't answering questions multiple times. If you don't think your question is in the box, ask in the chat, and I will let you know if I see it or not. Because we have had people that comment multiple times. I think last week we had someone comment the same question 3 times. I kept reading it out because I don't read them ahead of time.
I did the same thing. Before
reading them out loud, and so then I'm asking the same question 5 times. Don't mind it, but if you ever question whether or not it's in there, let me know in the chat. I'll look for you.
It doesn't show you that it's in there, so.
Or if you're having trouble with it, drop it in the chat and I'll add it to the box.
Yep. All right. Let's move on to dealer news.
Take a drink.
You guys like that? A dog bringing the newspaper because we're bringing you the news, right? All right. So this just today we had a couple different updates on some order banks closing. So this may not affect too many of you, but the 23 Transit Connect wagon, that order bank is closing on the 20th. So just next week, next Monday, it'll be closing at 10 p.m. Eastern. You want to make sure you get those last Transit Connect wagon orders in before they close down. Of course, CVP will last another week, so it gives dealerships about a week to get those in. So just keep that in mind. There you go. Now, another one that's closing here soon. In fact, that's next week as well. And that is the 23 Edge. So that order bank is closing March 21st, so next Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern. So that order bank is closing as well real soon. So I want to make note of that. And then you have till the March 28th to get your COVP paperwork in for that. So, and that stands for Customer Order Verification Program. So in case you ask that. All right. Something else that came out today, Bronco pricing increase. So Bronco prices went up yet again. Order banks open up next week. So why not? Let's do a price increase before they open up. Sorry, it's not funny. But so the effective the 15th, which is tomorrow, we will see price increases on about everything with a hardtop, basically. So let me go through this. So the 2-door base, Big Ben, Outer Banks, Black Diamond, Badlands, Wild Track, Heritage Edition, Heritage Limited Editions, all of those are going to go up. The $500 Wild Track goes up. I should have said that wrong. Okay, Wild Track, Heritage Edition, Heritage Limited go up $1,250, so $1,250, whereas all the others go up $500. So that would be your base through the Badlands will go up $500 for your 2 doors. 4-door Wild Track will go up $750. Heritage Edition also $750, Heritage Limited $750, and the Everglades. So for the 4 doors. So those are going up. So so you know that. Also for packages, the Lux package will increase $750. Sasquatch package will increase $750. Modular front bumper is increasing $150 as well. And the carbonized gray molded in hardtop, $1,200. So if you add the optional hardtop, then it's $1,200 for those 4 doors. So from what I can gather, Sasquatch hardtops are the biggest things that are increasing here. And so that's why you see it affecting all the 2-doors. And on the 4-doors, it's really only affecting the Wild Track because it has I assume because it has a Sasquatch package on it. And then probably the Heritage Editions as well because they have Sasquatch and Everglades standard Sasquatch too, which is probably why they go up $750 as well because the Sasquatch went up. So that's what you're seeing affected. So there you go, price increases. So if you have that pre-order in with your dealer, you might want to look again because probably that price is going to be higher at the when you put your order in. Just so you know, if you see that increase, there we go. That's that. A couple different things about the Model E. It's more for dealers. Information on making sure that your Model E that you're up to date on your milestones and what you're supposed to be on, getting your Model E certification done, the charging network and that kind of thing, and those chargers. So there's some stuff in there for dealers. So dealers, if you're a Model E dealer, you want to check and look that stuff up. Make sure you're hitting your deadlines for that. All right. Any questions about the dealer news?
Not yet.
Nothing? All right. Well, then let's move on to all right. So on the recalls, we only have a couple. One that we talked about actually last week that was updated today, and that is on the safety recall 23S06. I think some people like when I give the recall number out. So that is the recall for the 22 to 23 Bronco, Explorer, F-150 Mustang, and Aviator 10-speed automatic transmission. It does say transmission assembly inspection. So they changed the dates on it. So a lot of them moved back a couple days. So if you have an F-150 built in Dearborn or Kansas City, or Dearborn from November 9th to January 19th of 23. Kansas City, F-150s, November 18th to January 19th, you're affected. A Mustang 22 or 23 model year at Flat Rock from December 1st to January 19th. You might be affected. Aviator, those dates didn't change. They're November 15th to January 26th of 23. Explorer in Chicago, November 13th to January 28th. And then Bronco, 22 and 23 model year in Michigan, November 14th through February 9th. So those dates, they extended it further to include more VINs there on that. So you want to make sure, we talked about that recall last week, but just updated the dates a little bit on that. So I won't go over that whole recall. If you missed it last week, then we'll have to get you updated on that. All right. Another one that came out yesterday, recall 23C05 is on the 21 to 22 model year Bronco, equipped with the 8-inch sync screen. So it's an accessory protocol interface modular software update. So this is a software update, so this won't be too bad. Bronco's 2021 model year Bronco, built January 20th, 2021 through December 22nd, 2021. That's mine. Me. And it's affected 2022 model year Bronco from December 22nd, 2021 through May 18th, 2022. So you're affected. So it looks like to me some of the affected vehicles may not conform to the requirements of the Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standard. Rear visibility when in 4-low mode. The rear camera and image display function. That's probably what has happened to mine because I don't put it in 4-low, but much. An image display function properly throughout the duration of a backing event and properly sees when the backing event ends. Vehicle shifted into a forward gear and the vehicle speeds exceed 10 miles an hour. A black or blue screen is then displayed rather than the expected sync screen. If the vehicle decelerates to 5 miles an hour, the rearview camera image may reappear on the sync screen with no input from the driver despite the vehicle being in a forward gear. So basically you get a blank screen at times when you shouldn't be, which is distracting to the driver, right? It does say do not demonstrate or deliver any new in-stock vehicle. Well, these are 2021 and 2022. Hopefully the dealer has one. What is your problem? You should have sold those a long time ago. Anyway, but you will have to make sure this recall is done before. It does say that the information will be delivered to dealers, be provided to dealers in Q2. and then the letters will go out to customers. So a lot of times I'm giving you this information early. This is a dealer news bulletin on this, advance notice in a sense is what they call it. And so information won't go out to customers yet. That's why I haven't received one. Most people haven't yet on this. But once they have the information Q2 to dealers, then they'll send out the recall to customers to have this done. So, but that is recall, actually two different ones. 23C05 says, but then also 22C27 probably depends on that came out. So anyway, all right, last one. Wait, two more, because one just came out today. In fact, I didn't know about it. I'm thankful that somebody tagged me on Maverick Truck Club. We have one for the Maverick, but first, recall 23S10 is on the F-150s, both the front wiper arm inspection. Actually, I think this has actually been out, but the 2021 model year F-150s, actually this was out for the 22, so now they're including the 21 model year as well. Those built in Dearborn between January 8th, 2020 through May 2nd, 2021, or those built in Kansas City between February 12th, 2020 through August 16th, 2021. It's a, yeah, do not demonstrate or deliver. Hopefully you don't have a 21 still. As a dealer, if you still have a 21, you got to rethink what you're doing here. Just you're gonna have to give the vehicle away at this point. Anyway, so so hopefully for other people though, the reason for the recall in some of the affected vehicles, it may be possible for the vehicle wiper arms to perform erratically. This condition can potentially lead to a wiper arm that becomes inoperable and or separated from the vehicle. Flies off, which can result in reduced visibility in certain conditions and probably scratch up your windshield if it comes off.
Probably
anyway,
crack it.
Didn't laugh about this because it's happening to people, but
yeah.
Anyway, so that could happen. So those need to be inspected and such, and those actually I think can get done right now, because I know that on our 22s we've been able to do this recall on the vehicles, so you should be able to get that done right now. Now, one that came out today on the Maverick, and customers haven't been notified of this. This is an advance notice. Recall 23C04 for the 2023 Maverick XL, XLT, and Lariat trim packages with a trailer tow taillight wiring replacement. So, and these are for vehicles built November 23rd, which is pretty much the launch of the Job 1 for the Maverick, through February 10th. So if you were built between that time, you're going to have this recall. Basically says that on affected vehicles, a wiring circuit to the trailer tow connector is missing, resulting in inoperative trailer taillights. The affected vehicles will not conform to the vehicle motor standards, of course, which requires trailers to be equipped with stop, tail, and turn signal lamps, along with other functions. It says, do not demonstrate or deliver these in-stock vehicles until more information is given to the dealer of how to fix it, which could be Q2 for those. So February 10th is the end date of this. Usually takes about a month for you to get your vehicles. So March 10th is when these vehicles should have arrived. Most people have already taken their delivery before this came out, hopefully. So there could be some arriving right now or recently, but this recall started today. So if you're already taking delivery, you don't, lucky for you, if you're just was at the tail end of this, you might be affected by this. So there shouldn't be a lot of people affected about taking delivery of their vehicle. Anything built February 11th is going to be good. So when that vehicle comes in a dealer, they'll be able to pull a smart vents and tell whether or not it's under recall, and we have to take care of the recall first. But there are some people that could be just receiving theirs. We just received 3 today. We'll have to see if those are on the recall list. Because those could be affected and they won't be able to be delivered until a recall is done. And right now, Ford doesn't have the information to dealers of what needs to be done yet. But there we go. So it does say, and this is actually on most of them, but I first time actually reading this, this federal law requires dealerships to complete this recall service before a new vehicle is delivered to the buyer or leasee. Violation of this requirement by a dealer could result in a civil penalty of up to $26,315 per vehicle. This is why dealerships will not sell them to you, because we could get penalized pretty heavily there. There you go. Those are the recalls. So yeah, we do these weekly. then it won't be too much keeping you guys updated on those recalls. And again, a lot of these are advanced notices. You guys will get notices on if your vehicle is in that you've already taken delivery of the vehicle, then you should you'll get notified eventually from Ford. So all right. So how's things going? Any questions we need to answer there? Nothing. All right, one last thing I want to talk about before we get into the Is It True for this week, and that is on the F-150 Lightning. So we've been talking about this. The plant shut down because of a battery issue and a fire. We all know about that took place. We have a little more information now that the factory's back up and running. Ford actually came out. Let's see, Emma Berg. I actually follow her on Twitter myself. She's a spokeswoman for Ford. And she actually talked to Detroit Free Press, and a couple quotes in here that I think are important because Ford is now recalling 18 electric pickup trucks because of a battery defect that led to the production shutdown of the Lightning. So they thought they contained all of the vehicles that were affected still at the plant that had not been shipped out, but it looks like 18 might have gotten through before they caught it. And so they're going to recall. 18 is not that many. So I don't think they're considering it a recall because it's something they can manage and not have to try to find the vehicles. So they're able to track those down. But here's the quote that she has. She said, "We recently established," and by the way, this is from the Detroit Free Press. The link to this article is in the description of this video if you want to check it out. So I like to make sure I source anything that I get out there. So we recently established the 18 vehicles containing cells from that 4-week period had made it to the dealers and customers, she said. On February 4th, during a standard quality check, one vehicle displayed a battery issue and caught fire. The root cause identified was related to battery cell production at the SK On plant in Georgia. So this is together with SK On, we have confirmed the root causes and have implemented quality actions. We learned this when we re-verified the locations of the trucks built with the battery cells from a 4-week window in question. Customers will be notified as soon as possible to make arrangements with their dealers to have their battery pack replaced. That's not going to be cheap for Ford. Customers will receive a loan vehicle, and once repaired, their vehicle will be returned to them. But it probably won't be Ford that's paying for this. It's probably going to be SK On. It's their fault. But anyway, so production is back on. It's resumed as of yesterday. Did see some tweets that went out that says production's up and running for the Lightning. But this is a small one, and I'm glad they caught it when they did, so that way it doesn't cause and end up being a bigger recall and such. Don't want it to be a Tesla fiasco. All right. All right. Anything else? Anything you need to answer before we move on?
Yeah.
No? You get it all handled? All right.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right, for Is It True? So we've updated some of those slides there. For Is It True this week? So here's something that we found on the Bronco Sport forum. So I do appreciate you guys tagging us at Ford Video Guy or at Sarah Davis on the different forums. We're on Bronco Sport, Bronco, Maverick Truck Club. We're on the mach-e, Lightning. We're on those. Even Ranger 6G. If we're on any of those, Super Duty.
Yep.
You're on that one. I don't know if I am, but
it's on Facebook.
Okay, on the Facebook. So most of those forums, if you do see something, tag us. You see somebody else that posts something, you say, hey, maybe Tim can help with that, or he can address it, then tag us so we know.
Or even if it's been addressed, tag us, because we might use it in the live stream or some other time. That way we can know about it.
We can get it out to as many people as possible. I know not everybody watches our live stream. There are people that are in the forums that don't watch our live streams and vice versa, but the more we can get it out to people, the more information we can get out there and get the truth to this. So, all right, so this one came from the Bronco Sport forum. It says the engine block heater is delaying the production of the Bronco Sport. So this customer in there, you read the article. Yes. They, why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
So I forgot what it said. So they were, just saying I tried to order
a production date, right? And it kept getting moved back.
No. So the original poster said that they went to go order an engine block heater from their dealership because they wanted to add it to their Bronco Sport. And their dealership said, nope, we don't have it. There's actually a national shortage. So we can't get it. So then he was speculating that that could be a reason why builds are getting pushed back or delayed or constraints. Someone said, oh, well, mine got scheduled. It actually was scheduled to the day. And then it got taken off of that and moved back to, and it's just scheduled to the week now. And he actually has an engine block heater. So I went and asked our parts department. I was like, okay, what's going on? They looked it up. You can get the engine block heater for the 2.0 liter. They have two different part sizes for the two different liter sizes. The 2.0 is good to go. They have all the parts for it, but the 1.5, they're missing the wiring. That wiring is being held up. There's a shortage in that, so that then they can't send the whole thing, so they aren't going to send those parts out, and it causes a delay and a shortage of those heaters.
There is a possibility if you do have a Bronco Sport with a 1.5 liter, which this could affect the escapes as well, but it doesn't affect the Maverick because the Maverick is a 2.0.
Yes.
So again, at the same plant, Bronco Sport Maverick, but again, the Mavericks are built with a 2.0 liter EcoBoost, not the 1.5. It looks like it's only affecting the 1.5 liter Bronco Sport. So your base, Big Bend, Outer Banks, it's going to affect those trim levels if you add the engine block heater on it. So just know that could delay yours from getting scheduled or being pushed back from production.
Yep.
So,
yeah, if you're already scheduled, you don't have to worry about constraints. You're already scheduled. It should get built.
But it might just move back.
Yes.
It might take a little longer. So you might see that production date move back, and that would be why. So there you go. So, all right, a couple things that are on my mind.
I would say take a drink.
And we don't have a mic like that, but let's talk
that one's pretty close.
Just a couple things. Yeah, that one's pretty close. All right, so a constraint that Ford isn't telling you about on your Ford Maverick. So if you came in, you saw that. I like to try to give a title to the episode live stream tonight. And so this one is about this because this is something that we were looking at. So this week, we've actually been 4 weeks since we've been able to see any of our Maverick schedule because last month, all of them scheduled in the first week. Typically happens at the beginning of each because we have so many orders that are so different that we don't have an issue getting all of ours scheduled out. So we usually use all of our Maverick allocations the very first week when they schedule. So looked at it this week. Today, Tuesday, Wednesday, they usually preview orders, which means they start looking at orders that they think they might want to schedule. And something I noticed, we do have a couple carryover orders, and our orders are based in there. Number one with Allie. Sorry, that came up. So we noticed that we still have some carryovers. We have 9 carryover orders because all of our carryovers are ones that basically carryover means if you had a 22 model year Maverick with us and it didn't get scheduled, we're prioritizing your order. So it has a priority 10, 11, 12, 13. All of our 10, 11s, and 12s are scheduled. We have a couple 13s. We have 9 13s right now. Our new orders are 15s. And so that's how we can sell, hey, these are new orders and these are carryovers. Well, whenever you're scheduling, the first thing that they look at, Ford will look at, is that priority. So they're going to try to schedule a 13 before a 15 if they can, within constraints that they have at the factory. So this week I assumed, hey, we're probably going to get those last 9. Those are going to get scheduled this month. I looked today. All of them that are previewing are 15s. So I thought, whoa, wait a minute. What's going on with the 13? So I started trying to look and examine. So I did a little deep dive on this. I know, long story short. All right, get to it, Tim. I found that all the ones that are previewing right now do not have the full-size spare on them. So and he's like, well, Tim, that's not on a constraint list. And it is not on a constraint list. Some of them even have the optional trailer tow package, which is on the constraint list. So we got to looking at it. If you guys don't know this, on the full-size spare, on a hybrid with the Lux package, it's included. So you get a full-size spare with the hybrid. We had a lot of hybrid priority 15s that have been looked at in previewing, but none of them have the luxury package on them. They're all XLTs, no Lux, no Copilot 360. They have an optional hitch, but that's about it. They don't have anything else on them. They don't have the full-size spare on them. When I look at there was some with the luxury packages, but they're EcoBoost. So if you know anything about the order guide, An EcoBoost with the luxury package does not include a full-size spare. So that's why we see some that were luxury packages, but they don't have the optional full-size spare either. So of all the orders, we had 16 that are previewing right now. 2 of them are tremors, but outside of those 2, the other 14, none of them have a full-size spare on the order. So just something, I mean, it's something as I try to look at these orders and try to examine and try to figure things out. I'm kind of one of those guys that likes to figure out problems and figure out solutions, and I think that might be an issue. So if you have a full-size spare, you may be being overlooked right now. All of our carryover orders that are priority 13s right now, all of them have full-size spare on the orders that are being overlooked. So I think there might be an issue at the plant that they're not telling us. But there you go. So if you have a full-size spare on a Maverick, you may not get scheduled this month. So just a little note to that, that might actually be happening for you. So keep that in mind there. So that's what's on my mind this week. So, all right. All Train Nation's having some fun in the comments, it looks like there. All right. Oh, there was something else I want to just, it's not on my mind, but it's just something to note. Next week before the live stream, 7 a.m. Central Time, 8 a.m. Eastern Time, there is, put a link to a video in the description where Board of Europe is doing a reveal next Tuesday, early morning here, a little bit later there, so you might want to check out that. We don't know exactly what the reveal, what type of vehicle, but we think it might be an electrified vehicle that could maybe come to the U.S. I don't know, but I always like to check out and see what's going over there. We did see the Ranger was revealed. All Train Nation. Ranger was revealed, you know, for Europe before, you know, and they got it a year before we did. So this could be, you know, an early look at possibly something that could come to the U.S. as well. So, all right, there you go. Next on McArthur, you go, we will talk about recalls.
They had actually said that wiring harnesses are made in, I think, Yugoslavia.
Did somebody? I saw somebody posted Ukraine.
Yes, Ukraine.
I did see Ukraine in there.
Oh, they were saying someone else said something about Yugoslavia. Someone else makes wiring, which it's very close to Ukraine.
I think they make that in the U.S. Anyway, all right. Well, I think
they make the parts for it, the wiring and all that.
That's all the information that I had. So now we're ready for
Q&A. 3 minutes early.
So not just Q&A, but live Q&A. I don't know. All right.
Peugeot is here.
Hi, my dad and grandpa. All right. All right, questions.
I know, I'm reading here. Swoosh. Yes, Branson. Branson MG, every time you do one, he says swoosh.
What's this? That?
We don't have a sound.
Oh. No, I don't. There is music to those, but I didn't include it.
Okay. Now I found if I move this out, I can see those top questions.
Maybe I'll use the music from our intro.
All right. Bruce Hawk 09 says, just an FYI, I have gotten my email from Ford. I haven't gotten my email from Ford yet, but my dealer said Bronco Black Diamond Jordan on SAS is scheduled for April 20th.
So alternation. The dead Q&A might be strange. True. True. All right. So what was that question? All right. So just an FYI, I haven't gotten my email from Ford yet, but my dealer said my Bronco Black Diamond 2-door non-satch is scheduled for April 4th. The emails haven't been very consistent. I don't know. I don't think on those. So I don't know. I know in the Mavericks, they really haven't been going out, I don't think. So I think last year they kind of learned because they would go out and they kept getting delayed. So I think they were like, okay, let's just stop sending them out.
Any update on the 24 Ranger?
Nope.
Next week?
You know what? I even emailed. So I've been like, okay, if I have a question about a certain model, I'm going to just email the brand manager through the dealer. So dealers, if you want, you can, they may not realize this, but you can message the brand managers through FMC Dealer, through the dealer portal. So if you go to the order guides, a lot of people don't know it's there, but on the right side, it says marketing managers over there. Click on that, and then you click on your model, and you can just fill out the form with the question you have, and it sends it through there to Ford. And I found that if I do that instead of email them straight to the email, I think that somebody else other than the brand manager gets notification of that. So I think they feel like they have to reply, but not necessarily the case, because the Ranger brand manager has not replied yet to my request. So I don't know if that's
what is in your cup over there?
We have a G Fuel. It is their rings.
He likes that one.
It is their limited edition Sonic Rings one, but it tastes really good. I like it. It's actually called Peach Rings, actually. And it's my last can, but I need to get some more.
Or were you talking about my bottle? Because mine is tea.
He doesn't drink.
I'm trying not to, because I still nurse an infant when I get home.
All right, I'll train Nation and anybody else that watches that are going to be there at Supercell. I'm bringing a couple cases of G Fuel. You guys got to try it, because I saw you drinking Monster last night, Dave. You got to try G Fuel. It's better.
Another one I wanted to mention. Robert Bontfield says, "Make me a priority 1."
Well, if you have a full-size spare, it won't matter. Sorry.
Yeah. We can't change it to a priority 1.
What's funny? Yeah, you can't go below 10 anyway. But right now, it's really no point in us moving anybody down. If our lowest is at 15, it doesn't really matter.
No.
15 is the lowest for us. So, I mean, I could spend 2 hours of one day taking all of our 500 orders and go bump them all down, because it does take a long time. You have to click into each order. You have to change it to a 14. You have to wait for it to do its thing, and then you have to submit it, and you have to wait again. And it really does take a long time to change, just to change anything on an order. Takes a few minutes. Now, it doesn't take a long time for any major changes, but if all I'm doing is changing one little thing and changing priority codes on them, it doesn't make a difference. If there's no 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 priorities, 15 is the lowest. It doesn't really matter. So we don't plan to move those to 10. And again, the priority codes only matter for orders within our dealerships and allocations within our dealerships.
Yep.
If there's a dealer that has 12 allocations and they have a priority, a 10 over there and a 15 on an order, it might be different than at our dealership. We may have 18 allocations, and if yours is the lowest and it's a 15 with us, that's all that matters. So it's within that dealership's allocations.
If you live out of state, you sure can order with us. Yep.
About 30. Let's see. Okay, we sell how many? About 200, over 200 vehicles a month at McArthur, and 30% of them are delivered outside of the state of Kansas, or they come pick them up. But they're titled people live outside of Kansas, so that's
4 cups of coffee will have me asleep.
It's a reverse effect for her.
I have ADHD, so if I drink a Red Bull, it's not to give me energy, it's to make me focus, bring me down a notch.
All
right. Does adding the Ultimate Lariat package move an F-250 Lariat to job 2?
No. It is not part of the job 2.
Has to be added.
There. Yeah.
Do you think the Animal CO third shift will be mainly for Maverick, since there seem to be Bronco Sports sitting on the dealer lots for a while?
Not necessarily, but I forgot to mention that part. Remember, we had the information. So I forgot to mention under the dealer news, but today there was a ready for retail broadcast. It usually talks about rebates and that kind of stuff, but they did mention they are increasing the production, which I talked about last week. We actually have some raw numbers now. They're saying that the F-150 will pick up an increase by 91,000 units for this year, a Mach-E by 22,000, Bronco 20,000, Escape 18,000 more units, Maverick 16, and Bronco Sport will go up 11,000 units. That's 16,000 more vehicles for the Maverick than what they originally were intending. So you can see that their focus will be on the Maverick first, the Bronco Sport, but they still will probably be producing both of them out there. So, and yeah, we don't know. They haven't told us deadlines or when this is going to be, but we assume summer will be, the ramp in production for everything. So, yeah.
All Train says, I'll try your G Fuel if you try my Jack single barrel.
All right.
Someone did ask if you are out of state and you purchase a vehicle with us. Yes, you will pay your state's taxes. You will not pay Kansas taxes. We give you a 30 or 60-day tag. You go back to your state, you register and pay taxes there.
Yep. And I know some states that through the dealer they register it for you, and you don't have to go to tag office. Kansas isn't one of those. I have to went today to renew all my tags. That wasn't fun.
No, it's not fun.
It was like another payment.
Actually, I don't mind.
It was like another payment. I'm like, okay, I have 13 payments a year, not 12. That's about what it ended up being.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yes, so we cannot get claim taxes, so we cannot charge you for sales tax. So that is something that you'll either want to make sure you have enough money to pay the sales tax on the vehicle when you go back, or in some situations, what we can do is we can figure that into your car loan. So we would add that to the price and then cut you back a check. So we've done that in some situations. So that is a possibility. If you're like, wait a minute, I don't have money for the sales tax, then we have ways to work around that. So we can work with you on that. So, all right. You and him. All right. Next question.
All right.
Can you click on it?
Yes.
I'm still on the Ranger question up here.
Yeah. Well, the other ones, they were simple ones. Wait, I already did that one.
Yep.
That's where I need to start selecting it. Did you see I don't know how to say that, something article where the Mach-E and Explorer were two of just 4 SUVs with good rear seat test crash rate?
Yes, I saw that Tesla put an article and said that they were one of the top or something, and then actually Mach-E was number 1. So Mach-E was first on that. I did see that. Twitter. I follow all the major Ford people. Like Emily Berg was in here, or Emma Berg, and I follow her on Twitter, and Mike Levine and such. All you gotta do is really follow Mike Levine. He always will retweet and post any of the others out there. But stay up to date on that kind of information. But yes, that's huge. It was, I think, it was the highest rating that any midsize SUVs received as well. So there you go. Mach-E. Safety is important.
All right. Constraint update on Broncos. Has the COVP purge been factored in?
Okay, we don't. No, not yet. So we actually had. We know that today is the day they're canceling those orders that didn't get COVP. And little known fact, they did because we got information along with with other dealers within our region that the dealers were notified, hey, these VINs are going to be canceled. If you have a legitimate reason why it should be canceled, you need to let us know. You have until Monday, it was yesterday, Monday, close of business. If we don't hear from you by then about this order, these orders for you, then it'll be canceled. So so anyway, so there you go. So that happened. That was sent out. We saw really KC region did a good job. There weren't hardly any on that list. In fact, there weren't any for the people that were supposed to put in there, and that they put a modification saying they're going to cancel the order. If they put that as a resolution, and then the order wasn't canceled, they let them know, and we had none of them there. We didn't have any in there. So we might see today, tomorrow, we might see some of them get canceled, and so next week we should get an update to that. This week's won't show that information on here, but where's the Bronco? You guys always like to get the updated information on Bronco, but it looks like we're down to still 15,000 orders. It looks like, based on the 3 manual transmissions in the order bank, which was funny because there wasn't like any in there like a couple weeks ago. So 15,287 or 90 orders that are in the order bank for Bronco right now. So 805 are Heritage Editions. 805 are also Black Diamond. But we're pretty low, so we'll just have to see. But anyway, we'll get more information next week. There was somebody said that they thought that the order banks were going to be opening next week. No, there is a broadcast next Monday on the 20th about Bronco order banks opening. They're not opening next week. That's the week after. Unless they update us next week with a different date, we'll let you know. So next week's live stream, we'll probably talk about it a little bit more. Probably do an individual video on Monday. So we'll just see how it depends on what information we get. But there you go.
All right, my 23 Super Duty XLT shipped yesterday to Maine.
There you go. Okay, so they are in transit. That's good. So that must have just happened, like, because Friday they hadn't. So it must have started shipping out over the weekend or something.
Or something. When do you expect to have details about the next gen Ranger? No idea. Yeah,
we don't know. I mean, Mavericks previewed this week. We have 16 previewing.
And another one saying that someone else had
23 Super Duty Lariat.
Is it normal to just be weeks away from?
All right. That'll be fun.
Is it normal to be just weeks away from Super Duty Job 2, but Ford hasn't released the new order guide for Job 2 items?
You know, I know that on the Bronco Sport, you know, I felt like that order guide was updated for Job 2 order guide, but we didn't see, but they didn't make the changes or talk about the changes yet. So, yeah, I mean, and I did check today. There's not a new order guide yet for Job 2, any Job 2 stuff, because we don't know the information on some of those new options. We know the different trims are in there. We're already on the order guide, but the Job 2 options that are available options, those are the ones that we're looking at. So that black appearance package, we really don't know what's included in that and such. We know it's available in XLT and Lariat trim, but that's all they've told us. So of course we assume what should be included based on what we saw at the Chicago Auto Show, but you know, it'd be nice getting, you know, all the good details as well as some of the other options, but not yet. I'll do a video if because I check for new updates to order guides every day. So if something has changed, I'll definitely put a video out on what's new on the Job 2 order guide. So, you know, I was thinking of redoing the Bronco Sport Outer Banks and Badlands videos for Job 2 changes with the body colored roof.
Well, if you're looking for something to make a video of, yeah.
There you go.
All right. Are there any hard numbers on how many Mavs made so far for the 23 out of how many ordered per month, or any info on the 22 rollovers?
No, because to Ford, they don't see the orders as a rollover order. So what on the Maverick, you had to put in all orders as a new order. So they didn't push orders over to the order bank like they did for Bronco. You had to, as a dealership, you had to put those orders in manually. Same way on the Super Duty. So for that fact, on Ford, all they're seeing is a 2023 order. They don't know if it was somebody that ordered a 22 and was it scheduled and again a 23 or not. So they don't know that. All they know is 23 orders. And I think every month, usually somebody will post in the different forums, like the number of sales and production numbers. You can check the forum, the Maverick Truck Club. They probably have a post about that. That ends that. I don't always look at that and focus in on that and share that on the live streams, but it is, if you dig in there, I'm sure it's in there for the production numbers for the month for last month. But and then somebody likes to in there, I know, likes to like calculate, and they kind of figure out the whole entire year, so they can tell you how many it's been so far. But I don't know that number off the top of my head. I'll try to do some digging and see what I can find out. But there you go. See, Branson said. Maverick Truck Club has numbers. I was thinking. So, there you go. So.
All right. Okay. And you answered how many Mavericks previewed this week?
Yeah, 16 so far. We have 18 allocations, 16 are previewing today. But again, every day is different. Tomorrow, we may see all those ones that are priority 13s. showing up. We don't. I mean,
Alright.
it's hard to tell, but right now it looks like to me that they're looking for orders outside of that. So.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, wait, thanks, Greg. Appreciate it. He said, thanks for the videos. He tagged 10 parts, but which it didn't pop up orange for me, but sorry.
What did you mean by limited scheduling and build out on Super Duty? I have an accepted order for an F350 trimmer, but no schedule date or VIN number.
Limited scheduling just means that they're not going to schedule like a whole load of it. So what did I wording on that? Limited scheduling for job 1. So that is, you know, because they're trying to finish out job 1 and then move to job 2. So that's why they're doing very limited scheduling for this week. And it sounds like job 2 could be coming possibly next week or the week after. So, which also means those order guides should be coming out. I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't happen this week. New order guides. So.
All right. Any clarification on dark horse stripe option?
I did a video on the dark horse stripe options. So there is, let's see, there's painted stripes available. We know that they're the standard equipment, and they say that standard is the hood graphics and striped. So I don't know, because you can see on the dark horse there was a stripe package even in our video that we did that shows like 3 kind of stripes blending together going across the hood on both sides, and then one on top of the dome or something on the middle. So we don't know which of those are going to be standard equipment. We don't have any images of what's standard. What we're seeing in a lot of publicity photos and everything and videos are the upgraded graphics appearance package is what they call it, with the black roof. So it's a black roof and upgraded graphics that are vinyl. You can also get painted stripes. So if you get the painted with the appearance, then those stripes will be painted. So yeah, that's the update on that. But we don't actually know what some of these are going to look like until probably the 27th. When order banks open, they also said they're going to open up more on colors and different things, and we'll hopefully see those stripes and what they're going to look like on the vehicles. So we're supposed to get, like they said, the order guide is going to be kind of released in 3 stages and some 3 phases, and the completed phase isn't going to be like till the summer. So phase 1 is supposed to be like colors, trims, and that kind of stuff. So hopefully the stripes is included in the colors and trims.
Mm-hmm. Do you expect to place customer orders for 24 Mustangs on 327 or just orders for pre-spec dealer stock units?
No, we're doing, yeah, anybody puts in a pre-order, even if you call us that day, if we, have time, we'll do pre-orders first. If we have, because order banks are open, the videos that I did kind of pretty much lay it out on how you can order these vehicles, what package is available, and standalone options based on my complete guide videos. So some people are giving us that. Our website as well, we do have a build and price ready to go on our website, and it is accurate. There's a couple little tweaks that we had to make to it. We colored the dots into different things. You won't see an update to the actual vehicle because, again, it's not Ford's proprietary website, so we can't do that. But we do have an image at least of what a GT might look like to start with. But the colors won't change when you click on them. But the dots should be pretty close to the color accuracy of what you're supposed to get. But the options and the prices are dead on that. So you can go to our website. We do have in the middle between new and used, there is an order your Ford. And we have the 2024 Mustang build and price on our website. Ford won't have theirs ready until the day the order banks open. But there are a lot of people that are going through building out and wanting to order with us and sending that build to us from our build and price website, and so we can go ahead and order their vehicles on the 24th. So stock, I don't know. Our focus is going to be on retails first. Retails will always schedule before stock. So stock priority code, the lowest it can be is a 20, and the highest a retail is 19. So retails will always be looked at before any stock orders for when it comes to scheduling. The pre-builds, the early builds, or the dealerships don't have any control over those. They are built to Ford's configuration, and they just kind of burst them out to the dealerships when they want to. The way they did it for For the GTs, though, from what I found out from last week, is that the top 5 dealers, I know in the KC region anyway, the top 5 dealers are getting GTs, and so we're number 5 in the KC region. We're getting a GT, so we do sell a lot of Mustangs. Probably not as many as some areas, but we do a lot of custom builds, superchargers. Our LMP 750 based off of a GT Quit Mustang. And so we do a lot of superchargers on the Roush. We won't be able to do that at the launch probably of 24. It'll probably take a while. But that's why we actually get a lot of allocations for Mustangs, just because we sell a lot of supercharged Mustangs here at McArthur. I think that's about the only Mustangs we have right now. A lot. They're all GT stock GTs that we added superchargers to.
Do you happen to know the average markup for a Bronco Raptor? I spoke to a nearby dealership and they have a $20,000 markup.
I don't know across the country. We try to stay in line with what we're seeing them go for on eBay, and at auctions and different things, and try to adjust that way. Our pricing, we try to stick to what the market value is on vehicles. We have F-150s that are right now, what, 8-9 grand off of MSRP right now.
Yeah.
So it just depends on the model. Maverick, if it's all retails are done at MSRP on the Mavericks, but if it becomes available, they're selling for $7,500 over, like that. So we know what the market value is on those. For the Bronco Raptor, we are over MSRP on ours, even on if somebody wants one. Which I can talk a little bit about how the scheduling goes on those, but we are about 15,000 over MSRP. That's our pricing. I noticed there are most dealerships around 10 to 20 is pretty common on those. Again, don't forget that's a limited run. They're only going to produce about 4,000 to 5,000 Bronco Raptors for the 2023 model year, and a dealership has to have allocations. So that's not ordered like any of the other models, and it gets scheduled. The allocations are separate for Raptors versus the regular Bronco lineup. Mm-hmm. So a dealership has to have an allocation, and a dealership may not know they're getting an allocation until that week. Like a lot of times we'll get an email on Friday to say, hey, you get a Bronco allocation next week. What's your order number? Send me your order number, and we'll make sure that gets scheduled, because they're manually allocated or manually scheduled. And I'm like, so we don't know until that happens. So that's, but.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Mark Meyer.
Thanks.
All right.
I was hoping to see Mark Saturday. So we had the K-State quarterbacks here.
Oh, that's right.
I was thinking maybe he'd come up and get autographs and such, but I almost thought I need to borrow a purple shirt. I found one in my closet Saturday. One. It didn't have K-State on it, but it was purple.
Honestly, I don't think I have any purple shirts. I'm not that.
I did find out I don't have too many orange shirts either. Jayden wants me to be Tails, so. So our grandson is really into Sonic right now. Like, he's got a sweatshirt that it's a Sonic hoodie, right? And so then, so he wants to, hey, Papa, you're Tails, I'm Sonic, so I have to find an orange shirt.
Yeah, unless Will is there.
Yeah,
and
unless Will's there.
Will is Tails, and Theo is Baby Tiger. And he has to wear a blanket, so he has a little taggy blanket. Blanket has to stay on Theo constantly, and he is Baby Tiger.
Oh, anyway, on to the questions.
We did that one. All right. When you say Special Bronco is scheduling this week, will that be for several weeks out or just one? I have a 2-door Heritage on order.
So that's what we're talking about. Is just this week's scheduling information. So we don't know what it's going to look like next week, but for right now we know it's specialty being Heritage Edition and probably Raptors.
All right. What does Job 2 mean?
Job 2. So in production, Job 1 is the start of that model year for 23, when it launched. Job 2, a lot of times they may have some issues with something, like on the Bronco Sport was a good example of that, where they, for some reason, are struggling with building the vehicles with a black top. Maybe they're getting low on black paint or something. And so they'll make a change to the order guide, and Job 2 is a great time that they'll produce their certain time frame, and then they'll update everything for the factory for any changes for the rest of the production year. So that gives them a basically halfway through model year. They call it 23 and a half, that kind of thing, or job 2. So it's sometimes there's significant changes. Maverick last year, the climate control had a temperature on the climate control that told you what your climate was. And job 2 change was they took that off, and now it's just a thermostat icon in there. And you see that the temperature display on the screen, which is what is now in part of 2023, and it stayed in effect for this year. So that was a job 2 change that actually we didn't notice, and because it wasn't an order guide like option or feature, it was just a change in the display, and they didn't let us know. So that's sometimes what we see is when they make some significant changes. I mean, when we toured that plant and the Explorer plant, we found that out. Sometimes they make it a change within the, and I asked them that. I said, so if you find something that needs to be changed, or hey, if we cut this, we can save this much money. And I said, is that what we see on job 2? And he says, sometimes they do it right away. It's within that job 1. But anything significant that needs to be told, the customer's told, like the black roof not being available. Well, it's available, but it's now $500 more. That would be something that's significant enough to be a job 2. So, and like Ragnicon said, sometimes those late availability items are also available in job 2. So, like we're seeing with the Super Duties. So,
we know that Maverick hybrids are constrained and EcoBoosts are under capacity. Will Ford allow dealers with allocations and no scheduled EcoBoost retail orders place a stock order?
Well, we know that you can place a stock Tremor order right now because they're way within capacity on that. So there is that possibility. I actually had, I think it was late September that I said this was probably going to happen. We've talked within the dealership here, like we know this is going to happen because of the way that the dealers are earning allocations for the Maverick isn't based on their orders at all, or their sales even. It's based on other criteria. So we're already envisioning it's going to happen. We're going to see dealerships that don't have that many orders, but because they sell a lot of Escapes, Bronco Sports, and Rangers, they're going to get allocations and maybe not have Maverick orders. And we're going to see them being able to put in stock orders probably. So you technically can put in a stock Maverick order right now. It's just you probably won't get scheduled again. Retails will be looked at before stock. So there is a possibility, maybe job 2 or the later part of the year, where we are probably going to see some dealerships getting stock EcoBoost. So that is a very likely possibility. Right now, they're not saying that that's something you can do. But I put in stock orders for us. I put, of course, all the parties are back, but I just to see if we could do it. And they're all EcoBoost, but there is that possibility. But
can you please explain if price protection is honored year over year? If ordered a 22 model and it's changed to a 23 model, is price protected? My dealer says it's not.
Okay, so right now we know that 22 to 23 and about all the models there is what they call private offer. So that is there is a special rebate you get, a certificate that you get, certain dollar figure. If you had an unscheduled 22 order and you had to put a 23 order in, so that you will make up that difference from the price increase. So your dealership needs to search for any certificates that are there. So if you had a 22 order and then you placed a 23 order, then yes, you should get a private offer for that price increase. So, and then there's always price protection within the model year as well. So, and that's been going on forever. Like we've seen a lot of models have a price increase. We talked about it tonight with the Bronco. If you had a good order in prior to that price increase, then your dealership's supposed to honor that price beforehand. I know somebody emailed me the other just today and said my dealer isn't giving me that because they're afraid they're not going to get it. I said, well, I've seen that happen because it is a dealership kind of carry that cost, because what they have to do is give you to it at the lower price, even though the invoice Ford is charging us the higher price. And then if they see that the same person that ordered it bought it, which usually takes 45 days to 60 days to process that, then they reimburse the dealership the money back. So in a sense, the dealership is having a negative deal until they get that money back. And I know some salespeople probably don't want to do that because a lot of dealerships, sales guys, they get paid off of the gross of the deal. And if that price is higher but they charge them the lower amount, they then made nothing on that deal. So the salesman makes a mini, is what they call it. And so there's probably a lot of dealers that aren't doing that. What we do is we know that we're going to get that money later. We put that in to our car deal to show the actual proper gross on it for our sales guys. So our sales guys, we are making sure our sales guys get paid on it, even though we don't have it yet. And then that goes into the account. So we have an accounting that we have that taken care of, but some dealerships, they don't want to take the time to do that because there are a lot of dealerships that don't care about their sales guys and want to have them longevity, so they won't do that. So there's some sales guys, they probably don't want to price protect you. So you almost gotta fight for it or ask for a manager so you can get that taken care of. So hopefully I answered that.
All right.
Little backstory on that too, but that's what we do here.
Dealer said I'm number 37 for map order. They're getting them 5 a month. If Ford can build all EcoBoost orders before my allocation, would they skip dealer hybrid orders for mine or have to wait in line for the allocation?
Well, they can tell you you're 37 in line by your timestamp, but configuration and how your vehicle's ordered, plus the orders in front of you. Let's say you have an X, like we're seeing it right now with ours being previewed. We have orders being previewed that are going to jump over a bunch of other orders because they don't have the full size spare and they don't have the luxury package. So an XLT without a luxury package, without Copilot, without the full size spare now we're looking at, those are going to get jump over the others. So you could actually be 37 on your list, but it might be 40 or 50 before yours gets scheduled if you have a Lux package, full size. You know, it just depends on how you have yours ordered. But we don't really know how they're going to do it. Like for us, you know, we might assume that, you know, ours isn't scheduled in order. EcoBoost hybrid, we don't know because again, the mix is 35% hybrid, you know, 65% EcoBoost. Well, ours have been scheduling primarily hybrids. Like even the preview orders, we have 16 previewing. 12 of the 16 are hybrids. Well, that's not the percentage that Ford says, so it's not always going to be done that way. So it's really hard to be able to know for sure how they're going to get scheduled. The only, you know, it's really difficult, and you know, and so it's really hard to tell where you would be and whether or not it's going to take 7 months for yours to get scheduled or not. It could be less if you have a very simple build, and the ones in front of you are more complex. Then you could jump right past all of them, and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
So. Didn't really answer your question probably the way you wanted, but it's difficult to be able to do that. So we can't, as dealers, we have somebody that's very frustrated because they put an order in the very first day and even give us a pre-order, and you know, and they're frustrated because theirs isn't scheduled yet. Yeah. And I'm like, we don't have any control over it. We put in orders in the way Ford tells us to put them in the correct way, and they schedule the way Ford just deems them to be scheduled. That we really have no control over the scheduling. That is 100% Ford doing the scheduling. So
they're talking about wraps.
Yeah, about wraps. So Speculator says we need a Maverick wrap.
Well, someone asked what is a wrap, and someone said rap is music. So then, and Peugeot says rapping is what the BC Boys used to do. Wrapping is a vinyl covering over the paint to protect the finish. And Niles told us what it actually is. Wrap is a temporary film that can change the color of a vehicle. It's temporary and doesn't harm the paint, so some call it a paint film.
We had business that ordered them and had a complete wrap of the vehicle in race red, which is not available color for the Maverick, but that's their business color. So they had a complete
their F-150s are in race red.
All right.
Any suggestion on elevating recalls that haven't been resolved in a year? Ford is obviously building F-150s with Viper motors. They should fix customers who have already paid for their vehicle.
Right. I do know that in a lot of situations, if it's a recall that's available and ready, if you have somebody that is buying it or you have a working deal on it, they will let you fix it. So we've actually had most of our wiper motors fixed on our stock vehicles, or I mean on our vehicles. The recall that has still going on, there's a separate recall that we can't get done because they don't have the fix yet. But a lot of times it will do that. So like just like with the Maverick, when they had a recall on the airbag, if you had one that came in that was a sold one and you had a sold deal started in it and Smart Vents it, then they let you go ahead and send you the parts for that one. But you had to have a sold deal to do that. So.
Is March 2023 the first time you remember the Bronco Sport having a retail order bonus cash offer, currently $1,000?
Nope. We've been seeing it on the Bronco Sport and some other models, quite often. So typically you see it on models that maybe we don't like. The Maverick, you're not going to see it because they're sold out. Bronco, we're not going to see it because they're sold out. Vehicles that
F-150 has it.
Yeah. So vehicles that where they have a lot of production and they don't have a lot of retail orders, you're going to start seeing rebates and that kind of thing. So Bronco Sport is one of those. We have a couple retail orders now for those, but whereas some dealers like we see it with Explorer, Expedition, not Expedition right now, but Explorers, we see it with Edges and that kind of thing. We'll see that, or low rates, one or the other. So Bronco Sport doesn't have a low interest rate right now, I don't think, but they do have rebates. So it may have, I don't remember.
I watched your Job 2 Bronco Sport / Bronco video. Is Bronco coming standard with the roof same color paint as the vehicle and $500 extra for black?
Bronco Sport. So not to get that confused between Bronco Sport, but the Bronco Sport is going to be body colored. So basically what you see in the base, Big Bend, Outer Banks, and Badlands will all be body colored roof. And then if you want the black roof on the Outer Banks and the Badlands, it's extra $500. So you can add it as an option, but it'll cost $500. And that's on the Bronco Sport.
Hey, Toby Max still...
By the way, I got to email Mike. I got my tag number for you. So I did get it changed today. So I'll email that to you. I won't forget to do that.
Would you say Toby Max still rap artist, or is he more pop now?
He's more pop.
Toby Mac and Lecrae are two. Well, Toby Mac's older stuff is rap, and then Lecrae is a good rap artist who's Christian.
All right. Next question.
Okay. Job 2.
Chris is in here.
After purchasing vehicle, can you use Ford Pass points at dealership to purchase?
Niles could probably answer a little bit better than I could. I believe so. I know that if I had Ford Pass points already, then it could be used if you want to put the accessories in your vehicle, or on your vehicle when you get it. But I don't know if you can use the purchase of it right away, or if you have to purchase a vehicle without the parts. But Niles hopefully will give us an answer. He said, yes, sir. There you go. So his answer was shorter. Niles, you got to work on these. You got to give a little explanation if you want to be.
Or you can be like me and do shorts, and it's just 60 seconds and you're done.
There's a reason why Sarah does the shorts and I don't.
All right. In fact, he's tried to do a short, and I was like, you have to cut it down. Yeah, that's part of it.
All right.
All right. Is the Maverick bed topper available in Avalanche Gray? I don't see it on the Ford website. That would be probably another Niles question.
Probably not. I mean, it probably will be available this year, but last year the bed topper, that color wasn't available, so that's probably why you may not be seeing it. So you only top. That's why I like doing videos instead of. I was like, I'll just do a video on this. Oh,
that's why sometimes I'll be in the middle of answering a question, typing, and I'll be like, wait, stop. I'm answering this. not available in that color, not yet available. But as we see trimmers coming out, you could start to see them coming out with that as well. Because
again, Avalanche is only available in the trimmer. So topper, probably not a lot of people putting a topper on a trimmer.
Yeah.
But if you're someone that's taking that trimmer, you're going off road, you want to do some overlanding, it would be nice to have that, put your 10 on top or put all your stuff back there and have it locked up and not have to worry about it. But bed cover would be an easy solution right now.
Cody, Kyle, if you're concerned that I see your question in here, we just haven't reached it yet. We get a backlog on these questions because I do open that chat box at the beginning. And so we're still working through them.
And I'm long-winded. All right.
We do need Niles to guest appear sometime. Maybe on a week where I can't join.
Or a Thursday night.
Or a Thursday night. There you go. I can be on Tuesday nights.
Yeah, it would be. Although these people would probably rather be on YouTube, but
yeah. But maybe on a week where I'm not able to join on the live, you can join Niles. Help him out.
All right.
Okay. Any idea when the subwoofer delete will end for Bronco production?
I don't know if it's a subwoofer delete or if it's the reduced amplifier, but you might check because, just like with the Bronco, when we talked about the LED signature lighting, just because it's on the order guide doesn't mean it's actually has to be affected. Because if you look on the order guide for the Bronco, that is not something that has to be added yet. So just because it's on the order guide doesn't mean the dealership has to add it to your order right now. So so that's something that you might look, because I don't think that might be something that has to be added to the order yet. So you can probably have the regular one. I'd have to look at our orders to see, and that might take a little while. So we'll keep moving on. But I don't think, and if that's the case, I'll let you know. But a lot of times dealers will see it on the order guide and assume that option needs to be added for it to get scheduled. If someone doesn't schedule for a little while, then they'll say, oh, it needs this added, like the base headlights for the Bronco, when it just says when it's not available. So all I did was reach out to the brand manager. He said, nope, that's not something that's needing to be added to the orders right now. So I can send out an email about that as well and find out, and I'll let you guys know next week.
It's Johnny's Car Care and Reviews.
Yep. He did what I did last night. I logged in as Ford Video Guy instead of Tim Bart's. I used Tim Bart's on other people's channels. I tried switching over to Ford Video Guy, but the membership didn't cover it over, so I'm stuck.
Yep. All right. For the Maverick orders that we're previewing today, how many were hybrid versus EcoBoost?
We did that earlier. It was a 12 hybrid, 4 EcoBoost, 2 of the EcoBoost being a trimmer.
Are you the talker at home, or do you run out of talking juice by the time you get home?
Talk a lot. Nope. Nobody asked me about cars at home.
No. See, I run into that too. I'll be out with friends or something, and I'll just sit there and listen to what people are talking about. I might cut in every once in a while, but then when they start talking about vehicles, I take over the conversation. Little
known fact, I'm actually an introvert. So, once I get to know somebody, I'll be really chatty with them if I feel like I feel comfortable doing that. But as a kid, I always would say something and people would laugh. So I learned to just kind of shut my mouth. And so I became more of an introvert because I felt like I was being made fun of. I would say something and not think about it before it would come out. And they're like, oh, that sounded really weird. And then I'd laugh. So I just learned to be an introvert as a younger age. So now, even older a little bit. But once I get to know somebody, then I feel more comfortable in being able to talk. So then you can't shut me up. So.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm an introvert. Don't talk very much. But once you get me going, I'll go.
I don't know.
All right. Walt K, is the Bronco tracker for in production accurate? Mine showed in production yesterday, but window stickers shows blend date for 320.
So in production is a time when something goes into production. It's a status. So it goes from being order processing to in production. So in production is when that order and the window sticker might be available, and it's sent to the plant. Then it goes to the in production status. So a lot of times it'll be in production before it actually starts being produced. So that is actually typical of that. So the order tracker is not incorrect. It is technically in the in production status because the factory needs that order before they can start producing it. So they want to have that ahead of time. So it usually happens about a week or so ahead of time. So that's usually when you can get your window stickers, about a week before your production date. And then it'll stay in production. And same way on the inside of that, once it's produced, it can stay in production until all the inspections are done and everything, until it's actually released completely and goes to the in transit. So that in production is will always be longer than just a day, even though it only takes a day for it to be.
Any guesses to when we will see the first Heritage Editions getting dealers/customers? And there in Peugeot's comment goes with that. What will be the market value for the Bronco Heritage Limited?
The limited, ours is already sold.
Yes.
But depends on the dealer. I would assume since it's a lower number than a Bronco Raptor, it's going to be more expensive than Bronco Raptor. I wouldn't be surprised if you're going to see at least 20,000 on about all of them over MSRP.
Right.
Heritage Editions, we're selling ours at MSRP because those anybody can order. It's not anything different. So we're selling our Heritage Editions at MSRP, but our Heritage Limited, we only got one, and I believe it's already sold.
And when do you think we'll start seeing those Heritages?
The Heritage Editions, I don't know. Probably here pretty soon. Start hitting dealers. I mean, if they started making them, the Heritage. I know our Heritage Limited is supposed to be built next month, but our Heritage Limited Editions, I think they're probably in April as well. So probably start seeing them in late April, May, somewhere in there.
All right. I placed a deposit for when the order banks open for Bronco. I should be second on the list. Dealer said he doesn't know how many allocations, which is making me nervous for the 4-door Wildtrak.
Okay, so the dealer should already know. Maybe the salesperson doesn't know, and he needs to check with his manager. But there's someone at the dealership that's received an email that tells you how many allocations you have for the 23 model year, for the rest of the 23 model year.
They don't have to tell you, but they can be like,
they don't have to tell you. Yes,
you're good to go.
But like for us, we know we're getting 56, and that's an estimated. Depending on sales, that number could go up, or it could go down. So that kind of thing. So. And even on the Raptors, you should know. I think our number is 11 left on the Raptors from here on out, I believe. I think last month we might be down to 7. I don't know. But anyway, your dealer should know that information. But you just gotta find the right person at the dealership, I guess. But the salesman should look. They should know how many allocations they're gonna have.
All right. I know some dealers have standard dealer add-ons they add to each vehicle. Instead, can I mandate them not to do those add-ons for my customer ordered vehicle?
Yes, I would. Well,
it depends.
It depends on the dealer. Every dealer is different. There are some dealers that say we add the front window tint, the clear coat, we add the nitro and the tires. These we put on every vehicle, even custom orders. And if it depends on the dealer, I would try to. A lot of times it's something that they try to do. It's kind of like negotiating. It's part of the negotiation process to say, hey, here's a MSRP, or whatever the price is, and then you want to negotiate them, and you come to a reason. So I would go in and do the same thing with them when it comes to those items. Say, hey, we put all these items on your vehicle. Then you might say, I don't want any of those items. And they say, well, we put them on all our vehicles. And say, you don't put them on my vehicle because it's for me. You can always try, again, negotiate with them. It is difficult when you're trying to negotiate on a vehicle that's really hot and can be sold over MSRP if you don't take it. That's the hard part about right now. And it's not right, and dealers shouldn't do this. But, if there's a Bronco, they know it's going to go for 10K over if you don't take it. And originally yours was ordered MSRP, or a Maverick that you're getting an MSRP on an ordered unit. And then, hey, well, we do this to all of our vehicles. You can take it or leave it. And if you don't buy it, then we'll just sell it for 10K over, 5K over to somebody else, and we'll make more than what we would have for the paint for that, which is a bad thing. That's, again, bad dealer, but it is up to the dealership, since they can do whatever they want. They are an individual. Technically the dealership is ordering the vehicle from Ford, and you're getting it from the dealer. So technically, the dealer can do whatever they want once that vehicle comes in. We saw Alternate Nation was talking about one where the Bronco Raptor came in, and the customer didn't get notified because the salesperson that did the deal no longer was there. So they sold the Raptor to somebody else. I mean, try to get another Raptor. I mean, that's not easy. So, not always a great situation there, but yeah, it's hard. You gotta try to work with your dealer the best you can. Hopefully you got a good dealer and such, and so that's why it's always a good idea if you're putting in an order with a dealer that you ask all those right questions to make sure you know what it's going to be like when that vehicle comes in. Look at reviews. Try to get in the forums. Have any of you guys dealt with this dealership? What can I expect? Are they going to add things to my vehicle? Are they going to actually honor MSRP? That kind of thing. Knowing all those questions and get as much as you can in writing is very important. So,
all right. Does the 23 Maverick include full-size spare? I don't think so for 23, but not 100% sure. No.
We talked about that earlier, and this might have been put in before we talked about the full-size spare, but it is not standard on any of the Mavericks. Certain packages, it comes with the hybrids. On an EcoBoost, you have to add it anyway. We looked up, for some reason, we were thinking that the 4K tow package got full-size spare.
That's because I got the 4K tow package, and I thought my full-size spare came with the tow package.
That's optional. So the only package that gets you the full-size spare included is if you go luxury package with a hybrid. Not sure why. Still doesn't make sense to me. There must be something there that there's a reason, and maybe somebody smarter than me can tell me. But so there you go. So it is. You want to make sure you add that. That's an optional equipment. And right now, we think we'll find out this week when we get through scheduling that it might cause yours to get overlooked. So.
We'll have to see.
We'll let you know. If you guys want to know the insights on that, I'll cover it Thursday night on the Facebook Live.
Yep.
So, but I can talk about it next week too. But if you want it earlier than that, you got to come over to the Facebook Live.
Or if you're a member, we might talk about it on Friday, or you might talk about it on Saturday. So
you might have to remind me though.
I'll remind you. I'm sure someone from our membership will tell us. All right. Will you have enough allocations to fulfill a LMF Maverick trimmer orders? To fulfill all Long McArthur Maverick orders. Just wondering if there was even a chance of not getting mine ordered on September 19th.
It is hard to tell at this point. I will say this: somebody did ask me how many of our orders have been already selected or scheduled and such, and I did look that up. So we started off at 795 orders. We've had 100 schedule and 33 cancel. We've had canceled orders. So what we're doing is we're not keeping that order in there. We are canceling it because I want to make. I don't want to see somebody's order come in that wanted canceled, and then somebody else that wanted their spec'd out a certain way not get scheduled because we scheduled that one instead. So we're canceling orders so that our other people that want them are going to have them. So we have been very fortunate. We've had a lot of people contact us when they didn't want theirs to get them scheduled and say, "Hey, I don't want mine." We've had most of the situations, it's the case that, hey, I had to get a vehicle, so I can't wait for it, and so we can't. So go ahead and cancel my order. So we have some great people that have been letting us know ahead of time. Paul says the mics are cutting it out. I don't know if you're watching it in real time live, Paul, because I know you just jumped in, but we were having issues at the beginning, so it should be fixed by now. So.
People ask more questions. And he asked about the Maverick trimmer specifically.
Oh, Maverick trimmer. I would think probably all the Maverick trimmers will probably get scheduled, especially when they're willing to take stock orders. We probably should get most of those taken care of.
Okay. I like the F-150 XLT Heritage Package blue and black, but don't like the gray interior. I would prefer the black interior. Did you get the black interior?
I don't think so. I'd have to look at the order guide. I covered it on my video on that.
Aftermarket. They can do aftermarket leather seats in black.
Aftermarket. There you go. Get custom leather seats put in.
Okay. Tim and Sarah. Just to quickly mention again, cannot say that word. I can't say it.
I'm with you. All right, go ahead.
I have Mav XLT Lux ordered. Does the included full-size spare cause me to get passed over? Thanks for the great talks.
So what we're looking at with our orders is we have some people that are priority 13, which we looked at before 15, and none of those orders today were previewing, and all those orders had the Lux package or a full-size spare. So I think because of that, but all the ones that are previewing today, none of them have a Lux package on the hybrids, and the EcoBoost that have the Lux package, but again, EcoBoost doesn't include the full-size spare on the Lux package. So, and then those did not have the optional full-size spare. So I believe they're having an issue with full-size spare and may not schedule those this week.
Yeah.
But again, that's just by one day of previewing. We need to look tomorrow and see what it looks like. That might change, but I just noticed from what they're previewing and looking at today that looks like they were looking for orders that didn't have the full-size spare, and what I could tell. Yes, a Lux package with a hybrid will have a full-size spare, so it could, at least this week. It may not be the case next week or the week after or even next month, but I believe this week it is affecting it.
Do you guys build the old school Lightning pickup? We make a package. We have the Lightning bolt package that looks like
The old
Lightning
on a new modern truck. So
yep.
MD Buck, you cannot get the black appearance package on the F-150 Heritage Edition. So you can't only one or the other. It's an appearance package, so you can't get both. You can't get the black appearance package with the Heritage Edition. I believe.
All right. Are modular Bronco tops ever going to be offered by Ford Parts?
I don't know. It'll be a while.
Okay.
I have no idea. So right now, I mean, this year their goal was to do the dual top, so they thought they're going to get caught up enough to be able to do that. So I'm really surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Bronco Job 2 takes away the dual top. That would not be a shock for me at all. So.
Okay. On the Super Duty build and price, I am seeing the 360 camera package has an option to remove the center high mounted stoplight camera.
Yes, I don't believe that's need to be done right now yet. Oh, the build and price was shown. I don't know. I didn't think I saw. I don't think I noticed that on there, but that is something that may need to be removed if they are having issues. I haven't seen any because I did a video on the different removals for the F-150 and the Lightning. People have wanted me to do that on the Super Duty, but as of yet, we haven't had any dealer bulletins where those are going to need to be added to the vehicles. So that's why I haven't done a video like that, because there haven't been any removals on the Super Duty yet. So, including the heated steering wheels.
All right. Can you change your order to not have a full-size spare now, or you just out of luck this week?
Yeah, we just talked about that. It's just for this week.
Okay.
And somebody, now go ahead and put your questions in the question box if you can. But Tim did ask about, will all Job 1 Super Duties be built before Job 2? So XL, XLT, and Lariat are able to be built in Job 1, but they also will be built in Job 2. So that doesn't mean all of all the vehicles available in Job 1 will need to be built before going to Job 2. It's just the Job 2 changes go into effect then. So when they say build out for Job 1, that means they're just going to close down and then start it back up with what's available for Job 2. So they won't produce all, if that makes sense. So, but put your questions in the question box so we can try to answer those in order with all the other questions. I want to make sure I answered that. That was Tim
Smith? Okay. Tim Johnson says, does Ford have a cap available for the Maverick?
So I think they're talking about I call it a topper, where pretty much the roof line kind of continues back So probably that's what they're talking about. But
I think so,
yes,
too.
they do have one. In fact, they're available. You order them in the color that your truck is. So if the Area 51, you order it in Area 51, and it's already painted for you. And
they
sent to you.
probably don't have the Atlas or Tremor right now, or the Avalanche or Atlas.
Yeah, Avalanche probably not. I would say it probably isn't available in Avalanche just because of the Tremor and thinking that people aren't going to put it on the Tremor. I wouldn't be surprised if it's available in the Atlas.
Unless they just, because I didn't see the toppers.
Could be a late availability for those colors too.
Right, and I didn't see those toppers until like job 2 or late availability for 22. So they may just need to wait till halfway through the production to have those on there. Okay.
All right, I'm out of beverage, so either we got to end the stream or I'm gonna have to go get something.
Well, you can run and do that because I got some questions in here I can answer. Okay. Have any new 23 customers had their Maverick orders scheduled or just carryovers? So for our dealership, it's all been carryovers so far because we have prioritized them correctly. Other dealerships have had some of the new orders getting scheduled before their carryovers due to not having them all prioritized the same way.
Or because of constraints on those orders, like we're seeing with the current ones.
That, or some dealers didn't have any rollovers. So you might see brand new orders coming from them.
Or they didn't prioritize their carryover orders.
Yes.
Yeah, so it really depends on the dealers. For us, we haven't seen any new orders scheduled yet for us, but it looks like it may happen this week for us. So we'll just have to see.
Yep. All right. Can you drop the full size spare? We got that one. Have any? We got that one. Is Ford going to offer a lift kit on Mavericks? They have a lift kit, I believe.
Well, aftermarket. I wonder if they're talking about factory.
Oh, factory?
No. I mean, because this is the first year we've seen an F-150 and actually it's not a lift. It's just just an off-road version. But Ford typically doesn't do a lift kit from the factory. But there is, and it's not actually through Ford.
No.
We're able to get Rough Country and some other companies that we're able to do some different level kits and lift kits for the Maverick. So they are available in the aftermarket world. So.
Not answering that one.
And usually your dealer can get them and put them on for you. We actually have a guy that does a lot of our custom builds here. Mm-hmm. He's pretty much, we have a full-time person in service there, and he is dedicated to our aftermarket department to put different accessories and lift kits, level kits in our trucks. And even to the point where we didn't have a lot of new ones, we were doing used vehicles to keep him busy. So he's always available to be able to put those on. So,
for the Maverick, if you don't get full size spare, do you still get the smaller spare, the mini spare? Yes.
Yep. Yes. You still get a spare. It's a mini.
Because I mean, Escape and some of those other vehicles come with a tire inflation kit instead of a spare,
which they did change this year. 23 Escape is a mini, back to mini, and they did take that away. So
I do want to say this is a PG stream. We try and keep our comments PG-13 at the most. If you ask a question that I feel is inappropriate, I will not answer it. Okay. Hi, Tim and Sarah. That bedliner rail and package Ford was offering on the MAV, is that now a constraint?
No. I did see, you said you saw that.
Yes.
On the Maverick Truck Club, that it was a possible constraint. Mm-hmm. But no, it's, I looked at it today because she asked me that, and I looked at the commodity report here, and it's still way within capacity. So the amount of orders with the spray and bedliner is 19%, but their capacity is 39%. So it is not a constraint. And the Ed rail system is actually even lower than that. So 5% versus 40% capacity. So it is not a constraint right now. So it's still going to be produced at a lower number. Their capacity is 40%, 39% for 39 or 40% for those. But It's only a constraint when the amount of orders exceeds the capacity. So, and on that, it is not. So.
Greg Abar, it is suggested that if you have a spare on that you do only go 45, not only because it is a different tire size, the wheel size is the same on a full-size spare, but the tire size is different, but also those lug nuts might not be fully tightened on, so it is suggested that you keep your speed at a lower level.
Yeah.
All right. Are tires and wheels on the Bronco Sport Maverick the same?
The bolt pattern is the same.
Yes. So you can interchange those.
Yes. We've seen some people do that. Get some Bronco Sport wheels and put on their Maverick. So the bolt pattern is the same. Mm-hmm. So.
I haven't.
But I don't think the wheels are exactly the same.
No.
Not from the factory.
I have an order with you all, XLT with Copilot 360. If I want to change color, that shouldn't cause any issues. But does that color come with a full-size spare? Or does that order come with a full-size spare? XLT with Copilot 360?
Copilot 360 does not include a full... Well, on an XLT, no, it does not include a full-size spare.
Is the Atlas spare full?
Hold on a second.
Atlas.
Hold on a second.
What are you guys talking about?
Hold on.
How many Bronco Outer Banks are left to be scheduled?
It was around 2,000, I think. All right, let me look at. Hold on a second. Let me look at the order guide for a second.
Mm-hmm.
On the Maverick. Because I know on the XL that Copilot 360 is you get a couple extra things. I know power, wind, and mirrors, and something else. But on the XLT, because I can't remember. All right, Copilot 360 includes full-size spare on the hybrid. So that's why none of the orders we saw had the Copilot 360 either. So Copilot 360 includes the full-size spare with the hybrid. So if you do have the Copilot 360, it could be overlooked as well if you have a hybrid.
All right.
There you go.
The WB, I don't know what you mean by is the Atlas spare a full size. Don't know what that means. And we have answered them all, so I'm closing our chat or our question box before we get any more.
Now, if you have any questions, go ahead and just post them in the chat. We'll finish and get those. So
if we didn't answer you, please put them in the chat so we can see them. At this time, I close out of that one because I'm no longer on McArthur. I'm only me.
All right. Any other questions for you?
Try stepping on the puppy dog. Puppy dog is nice though. He's not like a cat. Someone said, if you wake up in the middle of the night for those bathroom breaks, you smash your toe or run into a wall. Someone said, try stepping on a cat, all teeth and claws. Did I just step on the paw by accident? Because he likes to sleep on my side of the bed.
Are all the 23 Super Duties being shipped yet? Are any of the Super Duties? We've actually had several people that say they have had theirs shipped. So I might, since we have all the questions answered, right, I might actually check out and see where ours are at.
Next one from Branson. When are you going to start to order the new Maverick orders? When the order banks open.
Maverick orders?
Yes.
Yeah, I can't order right now.
Yeah, you can't order Maverick right now. So when the Maverick order banks open orders, but we might take pre-orders closer to time if we know what our allocations are going to be, what our rollovers are going to look like. We'll figure that out close to time.
Okay, so Deke was asking, is the Bronco Sport full-size spare the same as the Mav, or is it a different size? I will say this, I think so, but I've noticed that the only way to get a full-size spare on the Bronco Sport is to get the tow package. You get the tow package and get the full-size spare. And right now, as you notice, there is a constraint on the tow package on the Bronco Sport. So it looks like to be a problem on all of them. Let me look at the Bronco Sport real quick.
Cody Kyle, I did answer yours. I'm not sure how long ago it was.
Answer. What was how long was it?
If you ask it again, I can
was that
answer it again.
Oh, yeah, what was that? Yeah, let us know what that question is. We definitely want to make sure we get everybody's question
We
answered.
we definitely want to make sure you hear your answer too.
Outer Banks, we're open.
Yep.
Yeah, it was 5 days, Spectinator.
Okay.
All right, so Bronco Sport, the trailer tow package is over capacity. So 45% of the orders have they want the tow package. It comes with a full size spare, and 37% is their capacity. So probably, probably both the hitch and the full size spare. So it looks like probably the full size spare may be the same on both of them, and that's why we're seeing an issue there. So
all right. So he said the Atlas spare. It's an Atlas tire, not a Continental.
Oh.
So I actually did a short on this today. That will come out on Monday. That full size spare, the full size, they're talking about that rim, not the tire. That tire is going to be a smaller tire, more like a donut tire, but it's going to have that 17-inch rim. It is a steely rim.
yeah, there'll be a steel wheel.
It looks just like the steel wheel on the XL.
I remember on the 22 model year, somebody had posted about that and saying that the actual diameter was smaller than the original wheels for the tires.
I have my note here.
So it is a different tire size. Because we have one, it was in the shop that they pulled up that was a Lux package hybrid.
Yes.
So it had the full size spare on it.
I was actually like, you'll never guess what pulled into the service shop today. I have been wanting to do this video for like a week now. I'm like, you'll never guess what pulled up. It's a Maverick hybrid with Lux package. They're putting it up because it's getting an oil change. I gotta get a video, so I got it done. But yeah, so you'll be able to see that in that distinction. So I did take notes. I read off what those tire sizes are. So your full size is going to be 225 over 65 with a radius of 17, or the rim is going to be a 17. Your full size spare is going to be 215 over 60, and the rim is going to be a 17. So the rims are the same size. Your tire size is just going to be a little bit different.
We have Super Duties in Kansas City.
What?
Yep, 23 Super Duties.
Woohoo!
So they looks like this one here was shipped out.
Mom says, "Are you still live?" Oh, it's okay if it turns off.
All right, so let's see. When did that ship out? I can't tell here. All right, trying to figure out what day like ours shipped out. See if we get an idea of.
So you work on it. My Maverick I traded in
9th?
is a 22 EcoBoost with 4K tow package, Copilot 360, full size spare with 10,000 miles, with close to 10,000 miles on it. Huh?
Did it sell already?
No, they're just asking. How much it was. No, but you can come meet me.
I don't know how much the was.
But the price, what was it worth? They gave me, I don't know. They're asking, I think, 39 for it. I want to say 39. I don't know if I'm allowed, but they gave.
Well, you can just say they pretty much gave you close MSRP for your vehicle.
They gave me a good deal.
After driving it for over a year.
1 month, over a year. Almost exactly, because I purchased it on January 26th. And I drove it for a week before that. And we purchased our truck February 28th, and we drove it for a week before that.
All right, so Cody Kyle said, I want to make sure I get his question. It says,
yes.
What is the full constraint of the MAV, like the hybrid engine? That's 35% capacity, or is what they're going to schedule those. So they call that a constraint because 65% of orders or more are hybrid, but their capacity is only 35% right now. So that's what they're looking at there. So that's in a sense a constraint. And how do I go about it with my salesperson? And if there is a constraint within the Lux package, should I get out of it. Well, right now, if you have a hybrid with the Lux package, you get the full size spare, so that could cause it. So I don't want anybody to freak out right now, but I've just noticed with the ones that are previewing today, that could change tomorrow. And then Thursday's the day that actually schedules. So again, we'll sometimes see on Tuesday some orders get previewed, and then Wednesday it'll be a different set of orders, and they're just kind of looking to see what they can. They're trying to like fill in their slots and figure out and their algorithms and everything and what will work. So come Thursday, we may have all those Priority 13 scheduled with the full size spare instead. I just think there is probably a constraint there they're not telling us about. Is my case there. So I would hold. I mean, Lux package is, has a lot of great features in it. But just want to let everybody know out there. I mean, and you can't take off one thing off of the package. You can't say, okay, well, I don't want the full size spare. Take that off of the Lux package. If there's a major problem with the full size spare, job 2, they may actually make that change to make the full size spare not on that Lux package or Copilot 360, but make a standalone option instead. Which we did see them. They didn't do that last year, or did they do that last part of last year? Because that was the spring and bedliner was a major constraint last year. We noticed, of course, for the next model year, it was no longer in the Lux package. So we may see that end up happening if there's a situation. So brand manager hasn't really responded to me. So
when are you planning your meetup for Tennessee?
I think Friday night.
Okay.
That Friday night.
If you would like more information on that, go ahead and email Tim.
Yep,
he will get with you on that.
We're getting a list so I can have phone numbers and such so that I can text people.
Yep.
So definitely, if you're wanting to do a meetup at the Bronco Supercell or when we go to New York to the New York Auto Show, which is April 4th, 5th, 6th, we'll be there. We want to do a meetup there as well. Probably
Thursday night.
Yeah.
So that way, if you would like to see the show on Friday when it's open for the public, you can stay the night and go see it.
So just our email addresses are there. Just email us so we can put you on that list. We'll make sure get us your cell number so we can text and call and such.
Yes.
And because we won't know exactly where we're going to do it, an exact time until we get closer, like that week.
Yeah.
So giving us your information so we can make sure we include you in that meetup. And do that.
A member asked, is the member phone still working? Yes, it's still working. I just forget to plug it in. It needs to be plugged in right now. I can tell you that.
It's dead.
I forget to plug it in. And then yes, my Maverick is going for $39,500. I traded it in for a full size F-150. My youngest is still rear facing, and he went from the infant seat to the bigger car seat, and it fit me perfectly, but my husband couldn't move the seat back whatsoever. So, we felt it was time we get something bigger. We traded it for an F-150 because truck month deals were phenomenal on those ones that were FCTPs, so they have an extra 2,000 miles on them. So,
all right, we got a couple people now. Appreciate you guys being on the live stream and chatting with us. I feel like they're chatting with each other more than they are with us.
Yeah.
But I love that the community we have here.
Yes.
So this is great. So
yeah,
I love that. So
but,
do you expect the 24 Ranger North America to be announced at the New York Auto Show? We are hoping. That's why we're going.
Yes.
One of the main reasons we're really hoping the 24 Ranger is going to be there.
Because
Raptor or not, I don't really care. Just show us one. I want to be able to see that. So we're going during media days, but I think there are going to be some other reveals, some other manufacturers, and I don't know. I mean,
but like we did Detroit, and that was 24 hours. Then St. Louis was 2 days. And Chicago was 3 days, and now this one's 4 days. We're going longer and longer, and I need to make sure that our village is secure for my husband and my children. It's like have kiddos, be by yourself.
So, Scooby says, I finally have a build date of April 17th. How long after that can I expect delivery?
If it stays on track,
I would say 4 weeks after it's shipped out. So I like to say shipped out because there's inspections and such. So 17th, and you're probably the week of the 17th. So you don't have a day yet, but usually once it's actually shipped out, it gets put on a rail, then I say 4 weeks.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like, if it may be 5 weeks from the time it actually gets produced, but I like to say 4 weeks from, that's just a good guide. It should be within that 4 weeks once it actually gets on a rail.
I don't think you.
That?
Ridgeview, I'm cutting you off. 3.5 in the Maverick? Oh. Still need a Maverick Raptor. If you haven't driven a Maverick, it has some get up and go.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some rumors that there might be a 2.3 liter and a Maverick can be an ST version. Could see that happen. So
my husband and I were actually driving. We had to get the Maverick here and the F-150 at the same time, and so we drove them together home from lunch. We were actually able to stop next to each other and take off, and I matched him. He was surprised that I could match my Maverick matched his F-150.
Slider. Okay. It said Bronco Supercell is April from 19th to 22nd, a Saturday in Townsend, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So both of them are in April.
Yep. So we'll we actually have the farm show coming up next week.
And 22nd. I get to go for the first time.
Yep. So she can probably help educate some of our sales guys. So the 22nd to the 24th.
I already do.
And then 2 weeks after that's when we're going to New York. And then 2 weeks after that's when I'm going to Bronco Supercell. Sir's not going, so Alternate Nation thinks you're going to be there.
Oh, no, I'm not going to Supercell. I mean, it would be fun. I do like that off-roading type of stuff. I do think that would be fun. I can't leave my babies for that long.
Not 2 weeks in a row. Not 2 out of 3 weeks.
No. No, I can't do that. Now, if my husband and I were both able to go and leave the kiddos with someone, we would. Yep. But the people that are reliable to leave the kiddos with are going to Supercell.
So it was last year this week that your mom and I went to Texas, and we took several days off, and we went down there, and prior to last year, we never went on a vacation by ourselves, just the two of us. And it was nice. It was maybe enjoyable. A weekend or here there. Seemed like it was more relaxing. And so that's kind of what we're doing this year. But in April this time instead of during spring break. So we're gonna go to Bronco Supercell, drive there, and
instead, my mom's sister and I are going on a girls trip with our little kids, and we're gonna go to Wichita and hang out and go see some dinosaurs. As well says Dino Park.
All right. Dino Park. Did we miss any questions?
I don't think so.
All right. John said, do you know when F-150 trimmers go into production? They're being produced now. So, in fact, we have a bunch of trimmers on order. So, little insider info. We have a special trimmer, Lawn McArthur Performance Edition coming that you guys might be interested in. So, going to be 5.0 liters trimmers. We're going to do something very special too, and we have a bunch of those on order. But yes, trimmers are being produced now, so limited numbers, but they are being produced.
Would you say Supercell, you can have kids?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not driving to Tennessee with a 10-month-old and a 3.5-year-old who.
It's a 14-hour trip for us.
On the way home, 7-minute trip, he asks 10 times, "Are we home yet?" Are we there yet? No, Will, we are not. We're almost there. Oh, almost there? Almost there, dude. 10 times.
Thinking Sarah as a 3-year-old.
Yeah, he has the hyperactivity. We're actually cutting out all processed foods, sugars, food dyes.
Maybe you should give him pop and see if that helps. Like it does you. Give him an energy drink.
No.
Just kidding.
No, we're cutting out sugars. No, it used to be if I forgot my meds, my mom would be like, "Here's a Mountain Dew. Drink it. Down it. Let's go."
So a Del Rio. All right. Mav showed up on Ford account today. Does this mean scheduling soon? Last message got cut off. I don't know. Could be. Usually the vehicles, unless it's a won't show on your, like if you go to Ford.com under your orders and such, they usually won't show up there. I didn't think, unless they were like a vehicle that you reserved and ordered online. So I don't know. But
the Ragnarcon, Will would love cars. He would love to see all those vehicles, all the Broncos. He loves picking out Broncos when we're driving. He would love it. But on the way there, he would hate it. He does not sit still.
he said Diet Mountain.
Nope. Nope. No, but we're taking out all sugars, processed foods, food dyes. We're taking that out of his diet to hopefully bring that hyperactivity down.
So last night on All Train Nation, Josh Hamilton was on there. He is the one that's helping to organize. I think he works at a Ford dealer in Tennessee, which I can't wait to have a chat with him when I get there. But he's helping to plan out the drives during Bronco Supercell. So Bronco Supercell is like a big, basically car show for Broncos, and it's not just new Gen 6s. It's Gen 1s. This has been going on for a while before Gen 6 was even out. So Gen 1 through Gen 6 will be there. And he said, because he's helping to schedule for the drives, which is one Thursday, 125 people want to go on a drive off-road adventure, and they're going to take them on 4 different courses and trails to divide them out. But he said there's going to be 980 registered Broncos so far. Almost 1,000 Broncos in one area. That is going to be crazy. But so video like crazy while I'm there.
Yes.
It'll be kind of a vacation, but I'm going to
have to give Mom some tips.
I'm getting the GoPro mounted right there on the dash, because we're going to turn that sucker on when we get close so people can see when you're driving through Townsend and everything else what it's going to look like. And so we'll be hopefully get some GoPro out the windshield so you can kind of see what it's going to be like when we're down in that area. Just hit that start, and I better take a computer and external hard drive to download all the video. But so we'll do some video stuff there. Not most of it may not be on the Law McArthur YouTube channel, but maybe for members, if you're a member, you'll get some of that content. Mostly it'll be on my Ford Video Guide channel, so you want to make sure you're subscribed to that channel. That's where you're going to see that content, because this is my trip. I'm paying for it's vacation for me is what it is. But as a Ford Video Guy, I'm going to be doing videos. So
in Peugeot, we plan to try the diet first before medication, since he is only 3. Start with diet. Then as he gets closer to school age, if he needs assistance, we'll give it to him. But I know I wouldn't have made it through school without my. We plan to do diet first.
Yep. Somebody's asked. I think they were talking a little bit about the toe.
Yeah, the toe plug.
The recall that I covered. Where's that? Right here. So that's only for 2023 model year Mavericks, by the way. And so built at the start of production for 23, going through February 10th. So it's just the ones that were built basically December, January, early February, at the end of November. And it does say that the effective vehicles will not conform to the. Okay, let's see. What was a wiring circuit to the trailer tow connector is missing, resulting in inoperable trailer lamps. So basically, those trailer lights won't come on. So, or they'll go in and out. So that's not safe, especially if you're braking and the person in front of you doesn't think you're braking. Accident, right? So anyway, but yeah, as long as you don't hook up a trailer, you should be all right until you can get it fixed. So, or at least them check it, because it may be, some of those in that time frame. So, all right. Anything else?
I think so.
Yep. All right. So, okay. Well, if I don't have any other questions, what will we have? There's one right there. I'm picking a 21 F-150 Lariat tomorrow that I have not seen. Any specific things I should look for when I inspect it? 2021. So you're looking to use F-150. Make sure you kind of just take it for test drive. I mean, some people like to take theirs to a local mechanic or something. Ask for the service records of the vehicle. do a do a Carfax on it. That way you can kind of see if it was any accidents, something like that. Ask for service tickets or the service records. A lot of times dealerships will provide that to you, and so you can see if what came up in the inspection. Most used cars will have an inspection done especially if it's at a dealer. And so you want to see what came up, and what the dealership decided to fix and what they didn't decide to fix, so you know what you might have to deal with. Those couple things, of course, walk around and that kind of thing, look for some of that, but otherwise, I mean, that's the biggest things probably.
All right. Loss says, "Hey Tim, I know I'm late, but Maverick Hybrid was scheduled to build at beginning of March. Got an email today saying that has been shipped. I had full-size spare and trailer hitch." So the full-size spare and trailer hitch probably will not affect those that are already scheduled. It affects those that are waiting to get scheduled.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're good to go. You don't need to worry about anything.
In fact, more than likely, especially early on, they know a lot of dealers are trying to fulfill those carryover orders, and most of those carryover orders were luxury packages, most of them hybrid, again, full-size spare. So more than likely, they've kind of capped their production they're probably like out of spare tires, because of almost everything that's probably scheduled to be produced in March is probably full-size spares. So they're getting low on the capacity for April. And so that's probably why they're going to be scheduling vehicles without it. So again, it's within their capacity. Constraints will affect it and how things are scheduled, and that's probably what's going on. So I know for ours, I mean, they tried really, really hard. They knew that most dealerships that they see, like where they have 15s and they have 12, 13s, 14s and such, that they are prioritizing those early orders. So they're trying to fulfill those orders. They don't know if it was a carryover order necessarily, but if they see a dealership has priority 15s, but there's 10, 11, 12s, then they know what that dealership's trying to do is to schedule those orders. So they're trying to get those scheduled. Because of that, you see a lot of those from last year. The reason they didn't get scheduled is because they had the luxury package on their orders. I mean, primarily all of our carryovers, all of them on a hybrid had a Lux package, and that's why it got carried over. All of our orders that had a hybrid without Lux package, that were just a hybrid quit is what we call it, they got scheduled last year and they got built. Some of those got canceled and had to be redone, and they prioritized those. But for the most part, that's what they were. Some of our EcoBoost though were not. So that's why we're seeing those carryover orders having that. And so I think they really try to schedule those in February, March, and probably they're about out of spare tires. And that's probably why they're looking for orders without them. And this could just be an effect that we're seeing just in the Kansas City region. Remember, every region, there's I think 20 some regions, every region has certain constraints or certain things they're looking for within that region. So it could be just the Kansas City region is not getting spare tires, and there maybe other regions are getting scheduled with it, and it may not affect yours, because it'll probably happen. People watch my videos and say on Thursday when theirs gets scheduled with a spare tire, they're going to say, well, Tim's wrong because mine had a spare tire. Well, again, it's probably they're doing enough orders to fulfill the finish out of what they have parts for, but then the rest of them are going to be without that option if they don't have any more parts within that production cycle. So not that I'm necessarily wrong. Again, especially in the capacity, if there's a limited run, it doesn't mean that nobody's going to get scheduled with it. It just means a limited number will. And so if you got scheduled, great, go get a lottery ticket, because you might win that too. So that's just the kind of way, I look at it in that realm. Anyway, hopefully that
all right.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
If there's nothing else. Again, if you have any other questions, feel free to go ahead and email us. We're here to answer even, after this live stream. So send those to fordvideoguy@gmail.com, and Sarah will get those questions answered for you. Or, she answers 90% of the questions. I don't think she even asked me much anymore. But if there's something she does not sure on,
there for you.
She will ask me, and we'll get those. We'll let you guys know and get those answers for you. So definitely email us if you have any time. You don't have to wait till next week to get your questions answered. We're here for you during the week as well. So, and don't forget, if you see anything on the forums, don't forget, please tag us. We love to get that information to help educate more people on it, because there's probably other people out there other than what's in the forum that needs this information. And if we can help educate and help people out, that's what we're here for, is to help the community and help those people. So, all right. Nothing else?
I think it's time to call it.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us tonight. We'll see you guys later. Don't forget, stay positive, be kind to one another,
And be kind to yourself.
We'll see you later.